Entitled to a bond absent some major circumstances. When you violate that probation, though, you're not entitled to a bond, but you can get one. But that leads this court date to having a lot more. Welcome to Crestview Community TV's Court TV. I'm Ryan Hardy, your Crestview Community TV legal analyst, and today we're watching a miscellaneous court date / VOP court date. You're going to see, by VOP we mean violation of probation, and you're going to see a lot of people this morning who are, a lot of them are going to be incarcerated because they violated their probation. When you violate your probation,
Hi, I'm Michael Gilbert, a local attorney, and what you're about to watch is pretrial. Now, pretrial is the third court event in the process towards resolving a criminal case. The first was first appearance, the next was arraignment. Now we have pretrial to determine if the case is ready to proceed to docket day and potentially trial, or if it can't be worked out through plea or even dismissed. At pretrial, though, facts are not as important as they are in other hearings. In this case, it's procedural. The judge is going to bring in their entire docket to make sure that the attorneys are doing what they need to do to get the cases towards a just conclusion. Some of the cases you'll see are older, some are newer. On the older ones, you may see some tension as the judges are trying to make sure the cases are moving forward, but the stakes are getting high. So that's what pretrial is. Let's go see what happens.
The attorney may be picking the case up. That being said, we'd respectfully request a one-cycle continuance to see where we go, or where the state's going to go with this as we move forward.
So we'll come back on February 12th, 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor. And the case I'm covering for Mr. Weinstock is going to be State of Florida versus Cooper Johnson. And that's going to be case number 23 CF 963. And forgive me, Your Honor, but I was advised that Mr. Weinstock spoke with Ms. Basso, and they have come to I guess Mr. Weinstock wants to ask for a one-cycle continuance, and Ms. Basso has no objection, is what I was told, but I won't speak for her.
That's correct, Your Honor. I did speak to Mr. Weinstock. I believe he has an offer pending and also some motions, so he needed some more time on that. So we've got no objection. I did ask him to make sure that those motions got set, though.
What motions are we anticipating?
Your Honor, he had a motion to declare the statute that Mr. Johnson's charged under as unconstitutional. It was possession of child pornography, and I believe he had filed something else right after that, and we were planning to address them the same day.
So are we have we got those scheduled?
I do not believe so, Your Honor, because he was trying to work an offer. I'd given him an offer, but I'd like to go ahead and get those on the books.
So there's both things going on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, certainly we need to continue it, but if the offer is not accept it, and I'm not one way or another, that's up to you all. Make sure we get this thing, the motions scheduled.
What I'll do,
At least before the next cycle. We don't want to come here next time and say, oh, we've got to now schedule the 2 motions that have already been filed, have them sit out another couple months.
then I'll reach out to his assistant today and ask them to go ahead and get those on the books with Ms. Van Boxtel.
Okay, very good.
I'll let him know as well, Judge.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Heath.
Anything else?
No, Your Honor, that's all I have before the court. May I be excused?
You may.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Browning,
Yes, thank you, Judge.
good morning.
Morning, Judge. Just have one case in your docket, Nancy Holland. And Judge, we have a tentative agreement worked out for a few misdemeanor charges on that case. We're just gonna work out the details. I'd ask you to just pass it to your next pretrial. We should have that drafted, a written plea agreement, and sent to your office before then.
Very good. Okay, so we'll come back on 212.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge. Good seeing you.
Mr. Garrett,
Good morning, Your Honor.
good morning.
Your Honor, I have one client on the docket today, Brian Buchan. Chris Garrett on behalf of Brian Buchan, 23 CF 1078. There is a waiver on file. Your Honor, we've had a couple of new witnesses get brought to our attention. We're requesting a continuance to the next pretrial. I don't believe the state has any objection.
No objection, Your Honor.
Does it look like we'll, are we needing, you say there's new witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Have those been scheduled for or, what I don't want to do is come back 2 months and kind of, we're in the same place.
I understand, Your
Make
Honor.
sure we're moving.
I have spoken with one. I've shared the contact information with the state. The other witness I'm still trying to track down. Certainly, if there are depositions to be done, we'll do that before, we'll have those scheduled and probably conducted before the next court date.
Okay, that's what I was looking for.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. So we'll continue this until February 12th, with the understanding that deposition will be completed by then.
Absolutely, Your Honor. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Mr. Stewart,
Good morning, Your Honor.
good morning.
May it please the court, Brad Stewart, President Judge, I have 2 clients on your docket. My first client is Jesse DeBoard, D-E-B-O-R-D, 22 CF 908, Judge. Judge, we've completed everything in this regard. I do need to continue this. We are, as I'm unavailable for the trial week. I will be out of the country during the trial weeks from 27th to the 2nd.
Well, actually, the main trial week will be the 2nd of January. That'll be the 2nd week. The only reason I'm raising that, I normally wouldn't do that, but you guys announced continuance last time. If we're gonna announce last, we need to, there's always circumstances.
Understood, Judge.
So what about the week after? So are you coming back on the 2nd? Anyway, we can get, I don't know, where are we at? Are we finished with discovery? We're just waiting to go
We
to
are.
trial? Is there an offer on the table?
There is, Judge. We are evaluating that. I'm discussing it with my client, Judge. I don't necessarily anticipate this going to trial or necessary of trial, but
Whose case is it?
It's mine.
So where are we?
Well, Your Honor, I
Is discovery done?
yes, Judge.
believe so,
Okay,
Your
so
Honor.
we've got an offer on the table, and we're either gonna accept the offer or go to a, why don't we put it on a miscellaneous just for status?
That's fine.
See where we're at.
Very good.
I think that's fine.
Let's see. Sixteenth and 18th. Either of those dates work? 16th?
Yes, Your Honor, that's
Why
fine.
don't we come back on January 16th for status? And we'll figure out where we're going.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Judge, my next client is Mr. Christopher Glenn, Glenn. It's 23 CF 1110. We have deposition set for January the 8th. We do need to continue this to the February 14 date.
Are you, we'll come, okay. What was the last thing you said?
If we can continue this to the February date.
Okay. We'll come back on February 12th. Is that, would you anticipate that that would be the last of the discovery or last of the depositions?
At this point, Judge, yes.
Unless something unusual would come up.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure these cases are moving. That's the purpose of my call, my questions. I understand we gotta go through the process.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll continue to February 12th.
Very good. Judge, that's all I have. May I be excused? Thank you.
You. Have a nice day. Ms. Merrifield,
Morning, Your Honor.
you wanna do your cases or Mr. Flaherty's?
Whatever would be more convenient for the court, Judge.
I just have to find them. They're in different places.
Yes, sir.
We'll do Mr. Flaherty's first.
Thank you, Judge. Brady Merrifield on behalf of Joseph Bennison and 23 CF 2171. It was Bennison,
Which one?
Bennison.
I don't have that one. Is that under your name?
No, sir, it should be under Mr. Flaherty's name.
I don't have that.
I think it's number 43 on the docket. 43 on the docket. Am I working on the wrong docket?
Not on my docket. We had a docket, came out like on Friday. I think I've got the last iteration.
I don't believe it was continued. It showed on the online
So-
docket this morning.
With the, give me the case number again.
It's 23 CF 2171.
And the name is,
Bennison, Bennison. Madam Clerk, can you assist? Okay, you do show it as well.
okay. Well, I don't know anything about it, so tell me about it. Sorry,
Thank you, Judge.
It's not on my docket.
Understand. There is a waiver on file. It is the first time up for Mr. Bennison. We just received portions of discovery on 12/5, so we haven't had an opportunity to review that with him. So I'd ask to continue to the February pretrial date so that we can start working that case.
Very good. Continue to February 12th.
Thank you, Judge. The next one under his docket is Robert Bolton,
Okay,
and that's 23 CF 2153.
okay.
We haven't received discovery at this juncture. I have discussed this with ASA Sharpless, and she's preparing everything, so we'd request to move this to the February 12th pretrial. And there is a waiver on file for Mr. Bolton. It is also the first time up for this case.
This is the first time up?
It is, Judge.
Where are we at with the discovery from the state?
Your Honor, we're working on it. It should be over to her soon.
It's what?
Should be over to her soon. We're working on it.
So I've got an arrest date, like.
Of 10/13.
Going out 3 months ago. Is it taking 3 months to get discovery on these kind of cases? This seems like a pretty straightforward case. Anyway, we'll continue. Obviously, we've got to continue. We need to get the discovery over to you,
Thank you, Judge.
okay?
The next one is Randall Booker in 23 CF 1346. There is a waiver on file for Mr. Booker. We did, this is Ms. Bossell's case, we did take some depositions, some rather lengthy depositions. There are additional depositions that are pending. We're still coordinating those dates, and based on the nature of the charges, we had agreed to continue this case so we can continue working on discovery. So we'd request the 2/12 pretrial.
That's correct, Your Honor. There's no objection.
Court will continue this matter until February 12th.
The next case is Alan Brooks in 23 CF 1462. There is a waiver on file. We have deposition scheduled for January the 11th, Judge, so we'd request a continuance to the 2/12 pretrial.
Does that, obviously the court will continue it, but Are that the last depositions that are anticipated, or are you all?
It's the first round, Judge. Unfortunately,
First round.
it's taking considerable time to get deposition dates. We are working with the state to try to coordinate them as quick as possible, but we are kind of bound to what they have available.
Are we, so we've gotten all the dates scheduled so far? I don't know, we don't have any out that we're waiting for as far as getting
We believe,
deposition dates?
we
I
believe that.
understand there can always new stuff can come up.
Yes,
I
sir.
understand.
We believe that the depots on January the 11th will likely help resolve the case, if not before. We are in ongoing negotiations, but we would anticipate a pretty speedy resolution after the January 11th depots.
Okay. Very good.
The next case is Kyle Chapman in 23 CF 1015. There is a waiver on file. This is a rather complicated case, Judge, with ASA Sharpless. We have conducted several depositions. Some of the deponents were unavailable and are necessary. So we would request to continue this to the 212 pretrial. We are still trying to coordinate those depots. A lot of them are with officers who have extended training, so it complicates the matter further.
Do we think we're going to be able to get some of those depots scheduled before the next cycle?
Yes, Your Honor, we should be able to get them scheduled.
We're certainly open to getting them scheduled before the next cycle. We'd like to get it all wrapped up in that round. I don't anticipate any additional depositions based on any witnesses that would come out during the depots, but we do need to speak with the officers.
Okay. Very good. The court will continue until February 12th.
The next case is Alexander Edwards, 23 CF 2081. There is a waiver on file. It is the first time up for Mr. Edwards.
I think we continued this.
Thank you, Judge. We had e-filed. And that went to the February 12th, Judge? Thank you. And then the last one listed under my partner is Anissa Gines in 23 CF 423. There is a waiver on file. Depositions have been completed. I believe discovery is relatively done. We are still waiting on a mental health evaluation, and based on the nature of the offense, and the court may recall the bond hearing, we're requesting to continue it to the 212 pretrial conference so we can get that report back from Dr. McDonald.
When was it sent? How are we anticipated being done soon?
I believe so. We've had conversations about this case. We just need to get the report so that Mr. Losco and I can make some decisions on the case moving forward.
I was just kind of wondering what the mental health eval kind of status is. How long has it been out there?
Your Honor, I believe it's being done by the defense, so I don't have any knowledge on that.
She has been in ongoing treatment since she was released after the bond hearing. It's rather extensive. There's quite a few issues we're working on.
Okay, well, hopefully we can get that. I do understand that needs to be done.
And I have stayed in
Continue it to 212. Hopefully the mental health eval will be done by then.
And Judge, I have stayed in contact with Dr. McDonald, and it's at the top of her stack.
She does a good job.
She does, Judge.
Fortunately, she's the go-to person frequently, and that means that she's got a backup.
Yes, sir. So moving on to the cases that are listed under my name.
Okay.
The first case is Sabrina Grief in 23 CF 1428. There is a waiver on file. We'd like to leave this one set for plea or continue on docket day. And then the last case that I have is to
Docket day is, what's the date?
The 18th.
It's the 18th.
18th.
18th, so just
Okay.
12 days.
Thank you, Judge. The last case is to Kendrick Grimes in 22 CF 2812. There is a waiver on file. After discussion with ASA Basso, we are requesting to move this one to the miscellaneous date, I believe January 16th at 9 a.m. for entry of a plea.
The state has no objection to that, Your Honor.
Very good. The court will continue this till the morning of January 16th for entry of a plea.
And I believe that is all that I have, Judge.
I think that's all I've got too.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. You have a nice day.
You too.
Mr. Gilbert?
morning, Your Honor. Michael Gilbert on behalf of Christopher Bates in 20 CF 787. He is present. We have depots set for December 15th and request continuance.
Council votes on this case.
Which case is this, Judge?
It's Bates, 2020, 787.
Hello, this is Chris Norman at Bulldog Bail Bonds. Our office is in Crestview, Florida, but we service 7 Northwest Florida counties. If you ever find yourself in a jam, please give us a call. We're here to help you out.
Also representing Joseph Carroll in 23 CF 1357. I have a waiver on file. We have depots set for 11 January. Request continuance.
Very good. Is that, you anticipate that those will be all the depots you need?
I believe,
Yeah.
I believe so, Your Honor.
Very good. We'll continue this to 212.
Next case is Chester Cooper in 23 CF 2294. We have a waiver on file. This is the first time up, and we are working to get depot dates. We request continuance.
Very good. Continue to 212.
Next case is Braden Grimm in 23 CF 159. Have a waiver on file. This case I'd like to leave set. We have worked out terms of a plea. I have to work out with Santa Rosa. He's got another sentence over there we have to deconflict, and also with Monroe County. But we'll be coming in either ready on docket day, or we'll set it for a change of plea to get all that together.
Okay. So we'll continue to docket day, which is next week, 2/18.
And Your Honor,
12/18.
Your Honor, to clarify, that's set plea continue, correct?
I'm sorry?
It's set plea continue?
Correct.
Okay.
Well,
Lawlessness.
yeah, I mean,
We got a deal. We're not.
it sounds like there's other cases that it's not this case that's really holding everything up, it's other issues. But we're not going to trial. That's what you're trying to clarify?
Correct.
Correct. So hopefully it's not a continue, or if it's a continue, so it'll continue for a short period until you get the other stuff.
Right, it was a trafficking case, extensive. Anyway, we got 3 different jurisdictions.
Sure,
here.
I get it.
But we got a good answer, I think, so we do.
Well, I appreciate you all working. I know it's hard when it gets to multi-jurisdictions to get a resolution.
And then next case is Orville Johnson in 23 CF 1966. We have a waiver on file, and this is the first time up, and we also request a continuance on this. We just had our initial conversation on it Friday, so we'll probably be setting depots. Request continuance.
Okay. I mean, the court's been continuing, obviously, it's the first time up. You piqued my interest by saying the first contact was last week. I would hope we can start having discussions earlier than 3 or 4 months out.
This is no ding on state. It's a lot.
Okay. Well, you guys need, I just want to make sure we're addressing them early. We're not waiting for a couple cycles before we start talking.
Not at all, Your Honor.
Okay. But, I mean, obviously it needs to be continued. 212.
Then we'll come back. All right, so and I'll stand by for.
Okay. Just wave at me when we get, remind me. Mr. Cotton.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Your Honor, the first case I have on your docket today is going to be Pedro Alonso.
Please silence the cell phone.
Very good.
Your Honor, Mr. Alonso's case, we're requesting a continuance on that. I've met with the state attorney.
This is 23 CF 1559, just for the
Yes, sir.
record.
Thank you, I apologize.
That's all right.
Your Honor, requesting a continuance in this case. I've met with ASA Sharpless on this file, and we're going to be setting depositions on that.
But you don't have your dates yet on the deposition?
Judge, we met last week. We're also working toward a resolution, and so there was a little bit of a delay in setting those depositions in an effort because there's victims involved in that case, make the situation sensitive.
Court will continue this. This is a relatively recent case.
Yes, Madam Clerk, what's my court date? February? Or Judge, what's the continuance date? I apologize.
2/12.
2/12.
February 12th.
That's right. Your Honor, the next case I have is Leanne Anderson. That's case number 23 CF 1618. That's a relatively new case. That's a trafficking case, Your Honor. I believe I've received all the discovery, but I have not made it all the way through and had an opportunity to review it with my client. I'm requesting a continuance in that case. I anticipate depositions also being set. I'll work on getting those set before your next court date.
State okay with that, I assume?
Yes, Your Honor.
2/12. Come back on 2/12.
Thank you. Your Honor, the next case I have is Travis Abedy, case number 22 CF 2459. Your Honor, we recently had a motion to dismiss on that case. I have prepared an order. The state and I have reviewed that order, and she approved it yesterday. So I'll be sending that through the e-filing portal for the court. We are still working on trying to also resolve that case. I do know that case is older. I would request one more continuance, and we should be ready to resolve it or try it on the next cycle, Your Honor.
Okay, so you're announcing last continuance?
That's fine, Judge. I don't believe there's a lot left of that.
Note that in the minutes. The court will continue this until 2/12.
Next case I have is Gary Lopez, Your Honor. Your Honor, that was a case we've approached on before, had multiple conversations. I do know that that is an old case.
Hold on a second. I don't have that on my docket either. Lopez?
It's probably under Aguirre, A-G-U-I-R-R-E. It's a hyphenated name. Yes, sir.
Yeah, hold on a second. Yeah, I've got that. Correct. Aguirre Lopez. Thank you, sir.
Okay, yes, sir. With regard to Mr. Gary Lopez's case, Your Honor, we have a deposition of what I believe to be our last witness set on December 20th. Your Honor, after that, both the state and I are working on trying to resolve this case in the meantime as well. However, if we're unable to resolve it, there will also be a stand your ground motion to dismiss filed for that purposes. I would imagine that this is, depending upon if we have to have the motion, this will be either resolved by plea, or we will have the motion filed and ready to go by your next court date, and then we can decide how to move from there.
Okay, so you anticipate the motion being scheduled by the next time or heard by the next one?
Judge, I know I will have it at least scheduled and filed by the next time, depending upon the outcome of my 1220 deposition and negotiations with the state.
If the clerk would make a note of that the anticipated stand your ground motion will at least be filed. And hopefully we'll have it scheduled by then, if not heard.
Sorry, I'm
Because
making
it has
notes.
been- The only reason I'm saying that is it's a lengthy.
It is, Judge, just for the courts, so the court has a recollection, this is when we had someone who was a material witness in this case. It was hard to locate. We finally located them. They're in Tennessee. Actually, they're not coming down. They've just been cooperative with setting the deposition. It took us a long time to find them.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yes, sir. Your Honor, the next case I have is David Bratton, B-R-A-T-T-O-N. And Your Honor, I've proposed, this is a little bit unusual because of the type of case this is and the information that was needed at deposition by law enforcement. It wasn't something that they can have total recall of everything. The state and the law enforcement officer agreed to some interrogatories and requests for production as a way to facilitate this, to make it easier on everyone. I have propounded those and sent those to Ms. Basso a week or so ago. She's going to get those to law enforcement. We'd request a continuance in order to finish some discovery.
Based on that, there's no objection, Your Honor. We had discussed that.
So do we anticipate at this point with those that would complete the discovery?
Judge,
Are we kind of looking next time, like, either a resolution or we're looking to go to a trial on it?
Judge, I will tell you, I'm always looking for a resolution. However,
Probably would say the same.
they are,
There's
Judge.
a little difference of what that resolution might be, that's the problem.
Absolutely. I think to answer the court's question, once we have these, I don't know that I can give the court that answer today without seeing what this discovery is, determining if there would be an expert needed, if it would be relevant, if that assists or hinders negotiation.
Do you think at least the exchange of this type of discovery will have been completed by?
Yes, sir. We do.
Problem with these is we got a 2-month, so I'm
I
having to
understand.
press on them, because every delay, it's not, well, just next month, and it's like 2 months. You know, 2 months, all of a sudden, we're 4 months, and sometimes we don't, we're still scratching our head, not making progress. That's what I'm kind of always.
Judge, and
having
I will
to
tell
push.
you, I'm sorry, I did not mean to talk on top of the court. Judge, I will tell you that
This is a complicated case.
It is a complicated case, and the information that's been requested is not something he can just answer off the top of his head. He has to get into a computer and make those answers and do some research, so it's not just write it down on a piece of paper.
So hopefully, in February, we'll have a good kind of handle on kind of where we're at.
I do anticipate that.
We should be. Not a problem.
Very good.
Your Honor, that's all I have, but I also have a case for Ms. Reed and some cases.
I've got one more for you.
Oh, Mr. Cusimano, yes, and he's present, Judge. Actually, we have a plea agreement in that case. Thank you. Your Honor, there is a caveat with this plea. I've spoken with the state, Mr. Cusimano, we're pleading to standard probation in this case. We want to confirm that Mr. Cusimano would be able to travel for Christmas. He has prior plans. They are out of state to Houston, family. I don't believe when I spoke with probation to confirm, they said the judge, to make things simple, to enter a plea today, if you'll just approve that on the record, that's not a problem. I don't believe the state has an objection either.
And probation doesn't have an objection either? Okay. Without objection, the court will grant the request.
Sorry, Judge, we need a signature.
That's all right.
Sorry, Judge, it also needs a date. I apologize.
Court's always cooperative when there's a plea.
Sir?
Court's always cooperative when there's.
When we're getting him off the docket?
Okay. Well, go ahead. You go ahead and announce it. Yeah. That's all right. Go ahead and announce it.
Your Honor, pursuant to an agreement with the state, Mr. Cusimano will withdraw his previously tendered plea of not guilty and tender a plea as follows. To count 1, possession of ammo or firearm by a convicted felon, that's constructive. He pleads no contest. The state will dismiss counts 2 and then 4 through 7. The defendant will plead no contest to possession of paraphernalia in count 3. The terms of the agreement will be he will be adjudicated guilty of count 1 and count 3. The remaining counts will be dismissed. He will be sentenced to 4 years of state probation. He will complete a substance abuse evaluation and a recommended treatment, $615 court cost, 36 hours community service work. He may purchase those at the statutory rate. He may not possess a weapon or firearm during probation, and the defendant may early term at 2 years if all terms are complete, and he has no violations, and he's adjudicated. May I approach?
And Your Honor, that is the state's agreement, and the state is gonna owe you a score sheet. This is not a downward departure.
Very good. Mr. Cusimano, would you please raise your right hand, sir? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
So you heard your attorney state the terms of your plea agreement, and I see those same terms are contained in the written plea agreement that you have signed. So my first question is, did you read this plea agreement closely?
Yes, I did.
And did you go over it in detail with your attorney, make sure you had all your legal questions answered
Yes, Your
regarding this plea agreement? Importantly, you're waiving some valuable legal rights by entering into this, the right to go to a trial, to confront witnesses, all those constitutional rights, in order to get a final resolution of this case. First of all, do you understand that?
Yes,
And
I
is
do.
that what you want to do here today?
Yes, sir.
You believe that's in your best interest to do that?
I do.
Based upon that, the court will accept your plea agreement. And you're actually pleading only to counts 1 and 3. The remaining counts are being dismissed by the state, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the possession of paraphernalia,
Judge, that's just a credit for time served on that.
that's a credit for time served. Did we have that on here?
It is not on there, Judge, I apologize. It's
That's
just
all right.
before you,
Yeah,
you want me to read it right now.
Because the probation is actually on the single charge. Okay, very good. That's all right. So based upon that, the court, they'll be credit for time served as to the misdemeanor count 3, and on the primary count, possession of weapon or ammo by a convicted felon, the court will, there'll be an adjudication of guilt. And is it guilt? Adjudicate?
It is, Judge.
And will be sentenced to 4 years of probation. You've got to do the substance abuse evaluation and recommended treatment and the court costs that are contained. Obviously, you cannot possess a weapon or firearms, etc. And you may seek an early termination at 2 years if all the terms and conditions are complete and there's been no violation. Any questions?
No, Your Honor. All right. Your Honor, I also have a couple of cases for Mr. Gates and one case for Mrs. Reed, if I can address those.
Okay. You want
Yep.
to do Gates first?
That's fine, Your Honor. The first case,
I'll tell you what, can you hold just a second?
I can.
Why don't we go ahead and do
The one for Mr. Gilbert?
Mr. Gilbert?
Well, sure.
Yeah. I was waiting till you got through your list, but then you're.
No problem, Judge. I don't mind waiting.
Can we approach on this one?
Congratulations, Crestviews' very own Dixie Dan Powell of Powell Injury Law, for your recent jury verdict of $11.5 million for your client from a death and injury against an inflatable amusement company. Recognized in 2017 as one of the top 100 civil trial lawyers in the state of Florida, and Dixie is AV preeminent rated. Dixie Dan Powell works tirelessly for his clients, as is evident by this extraordinary verdict. If you're taking your case to trial, be prepared. Contact Dixie Dan Powell and Powell Injury Law, 850-306-2667.
Back Home Bakery Cafe is 2 blocks from the courthouse on Crestview's historic Main Street. We serve handmade pastries, espresso, and lunch items, and we're open Tuesday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., serving lunch from 11 to 2. We hope to see you soon.
Hello, I am Bonnie from Body Be Healthy here in Crestview. We have been serving the area since 1999. We're an alternative health food store. If you're interested in bettering your health, we'd like to invite you to stop by. We're located in Court Plaza. Stop by and let us help you be healthy.
I'm Amanda Gaskin with Briar Patch Realty. Helping qualified heroes save money is my passion. When I help a hero buy or sell a home, they receive a check from Homes for Heroes. Check out amandasheroes.com for more information.
For more than 70 years, the sweet aroma of the Crestview Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs has permeated the downtown area. If you have not experienced the unique flavor of Crestview's Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs, then I encourage you to join us for lunch. Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m., Friday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m., and Saturday from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. We're located in historic downtown Crestview at 107 North Main Street. Call 850-683-1045.
CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer since 1999. We're state licensed and insured, family owned and operated with 24 years of local service. We specialize in shingles and metal, re-roofs, repairs, and leak specialists. For all of your roofing needs, call us today or visit our website at cqroofing.com. CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer.
Days Tire Pros makes buying tires simpler. They offer a straightforward approach to tire and auto service that includes nationwide warranties, a hassle-free experience, and a great selection of Michelin tires. No matter what you drive or where you have driven, Michelin has a tire to fit any need. Visit our store in Crestview or online at daystirepros.com. Tire pros love the drive.
Judge, can I finish or no?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Say, yeah, you just skip over and
That's
you kick
right.
you out of the side. I'm sorry, who
That's
are you
all
covering for?
Judge, the next one is going to be Miss Reed. Name is Goodhart, Goodhart. Jonathan, 23 CF 2209.
Okay.
Your Honor, Ms. Reed's requesting a continuance on that case. I've spoken to the state. I believe that'll be resolved by a PTI. If we could just get a continuance on that. They may advance it if he...
We'll continue to 212.
Your Honor, the next cases I have are for Mr. Gates, Mike Gates. The first one is going to be Francisco Garcia, 23 CF 980.
Okay.
Your Honor, Mr. Gates is requesting a continuance on that for a vet court
I
evaluation.
think there's two cases, isn't it, for Mr. Garcia? 23 CF 980, I also have 23, well, that's a TR, it's a traffic case, I guess they added it on, 5381, just for the record, go ahead.
Okay. Your Honor, requesting a continuance. That case is looking at a vet court evaluation.
Okay, State? State?
Which case, Your Honor?
Garcia.
You gotta pay
Garcia, that's
attention
correct,
over here.
Judge. The paperwork was sent over to the state on Friday about 5 o'clock, so I'm still reviewing everything, but we're pursuing as a possible vet court candidate.
Okay, good, we'll come back on, hopefully, kind of get a better feel, tell Mr. Gates, kind of where we're going by next February for sure, either in vet court or kind of figuring out proceeding.
I will, Your Honor. Your Honor, the next case is Joel Johnson, case number 23 CF 1293.
Okay.
Mr. Gates is requesting leave that set for plea or continue on your docket day.
Okay. Continue to docket day 12/18. Plea or continue.
Your Honor, the last case, and I'm not sure if this is on your docket because he's an inmate, McGilvery, Scott McGilvery. Is that not on today's docket? Okay, all right. Then that's all I have, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You have a good day.
You as well.
Mr. Rare.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. You want to do Mr. LaPella's cases first?
Yes, Judge. All ours are together, so we'll just run through it all. The first I've got there, Judge, is Karai Avci, AVCI. Judge, he's first time up. We're waiting full discovery. Need to move it out one cycle.
Okay, this is obviously the first. We'll continue to 212.
Next I have, Judge, is Nicole Bola, 23 CF 1215. Ms. Bola is present. And in that case, Judge, we'd like to leave it set for trial.
Your Honor, we did talk about this case. I did not know the defense was going to intend to leave this set for trial. Had I known that it was going to be set for plea or trial, I would have contacted the witnesses to make sure they were going to be here over the holidays for a trial. The state's not requesting that it be left set plea or continue because there's also another witness that was listed in reciprocal discovery the state needs to depose. So if the court would like to leave it for plea or continue on Monday so we can talk more.
So what we're going to do, we're going to continue until docket day because it was announced last time, and I'm going to hold your feet to the fire a little bit. So come back on it. If you want to come back and argue for a continuance on that, you can do that. But we're going plea or trial on docket day. That's what you guys announced last time. But you can argue, I'll let you argue it on docket day, but see what you can get moving between now and docket day.
Your Honor, the issue, well, we can talk about it.
You can argue about it on docket
I
day.
don't think I got that witness until after court last time, so, but I will.
Well, you can, like I say, you make your argument then. Okay. So
All right,
that's
then.
12:18.
12:18, 9 o'clock.
Thank you, sir.
Next Your Honor I have is John Burkos. Mr. Burkos is present. Judge, this is actually first time up for him as well. We've received some video from the state. I need to confirm we have full discovery and ask him to move this out to February 12th.
State,
That's fine.
very good. The court will continue this till 2/12. 9/8.
Next judge I've got is Jay Burns. Judge, we have depots set for this. Scheduling wise, we weren't able to get those set until early February, so asking to move this out to February 12th for pretrial.
Are those all the anticipated depots? I mean, I understand there's always circumstances, but is that basically?
We haven't set the depots of every single witness. The most important ones, the alleged victim and the primary officer in the case, those are the two that are set for early February. I don't expect to need to depose the other secondary assisting officers. That could change after the primary officer's depot, but I don't want to get through the main ones first.
Well, hopefully we'll have a good feel for where we're at.
We should.
In February, whether we're proceeding or moving toward a trial, or even if it's not that cycle.
Right.
Okay, very good. Gregory Caulfield.
Gregory Cofield, Judge.
Cofield.
We've done a round of depositions. There are 2 depots that we had to try and reschedule and reset. However, I did speak with the state today about leaving the set plea continued to see what we can do within this next week. I'm going to be following up with the state on that and try to resolve the cycle if we could.
That's
Very
correct,
good.
Your Honor.
Continue until docket day, plea or continue on the 18th.
Then next I have, Judge, is Patrick Epps. He's relatively new, Judge. We don't yet have full discovery in the case.
Hold on a second, I don't have that one on
He should have been a late addition, Judge.
EPPS?
EPPS, Patrick Epps.
Do you have a case number?
I did not bring his file with me, Judge. Perfect.
6.
And we were just
Is that
retained.
new? Is that new?
It's newer. We were just retained on it. We don't have discovery yet, so we're asking for a continuance.
State,
That's agreed to, Your Honor.
continue that until 2/12.
The next judge I've got on my list is Christopher Goins.
Okay.
Judge, this is one similar to Mr. Cofield. I spoke with the state today about trying to speak further this week. We'd like to leave it set, plea continue, and come back on the 18th.
That's correct, Your Honor. Thank you.
Very good.
And then-
Plea or continue on docket day next Monday, the 18th.
Thank you, Judge. And then the last I've got is James Harden. And did I approach the state for this case?
May, is that under your name, or I don't have?
It'll be
that.
under everyone's file the same.
I don't have that one either.
Hey, I'm David at Family Vision of Crestview. We've been providing excellent optical service for Northwest Florida for over 34 years. Come in and let us take care of you.
So we'll continue Hardin until docket day 12/18 for status.
And Judge, I believe that's the last of mine and Mr. Lapella's cases.
Thank you.
David.
Mr. Cardoza?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Ryan Cardoso appearing on behalf of Christopher Davis. It's case 22 CF 2402.
Where are we at?
Your Honor, there's a pending motion to suppress. We briefed it and submitted supplemental memorandums to the court last week. So we're awaiting a ruling from the court.
I'm just waiting for the order. Okay. Why don't we come back on docket day? Because I believe that I have drafted the order already, but I don't want to say it in open court misstated. So we'll come back on docket day.
Is that at 9 a.m., Your Honor? Docket day?
It is.
So it's 12:18 at 9?
Correct.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, I just want.
And it'll be a status. We're not kind of gearing up for trial. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Patel?
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
I'm also covering for Mr. Dees, Mr. Wilkins, and Mr. Shaw, Mr. Flowers. If I can do mine first.
Give me just. Okay, which ones do you want to do first? You want to do
Let's do mine first.
Okay.
First one, Jay Patel on behalf of Catherine Anderson, 23 CF 2178. Based upon negotiations, if we can set this case out to 118, hopefully we can get it pled that day.
Okay. So we'll set it for the morning miscellaneous docket on January 18th, 9 a.m.
Yes. Next, Judge Jay Patel on behalf of Joshua Lee Arenas, 23 CF 1722. Judge, we just received discovery last month. I'm meeting with my client soon, and then we got to set up depositions if we can get a full continuance.
State?
That's fine.
So we'll continue to 2/12. Hopefully, by the time at least, I'm anticipating that there'll be, the deposition will be scheduled, it'll be some significant movement in the next couple of months, because it sounds like you're at that point.
That's our intent. Next, Judge Jay Patel on behalf of Courtney Baggett, 22 CF 2940. We've got an agreement if we can set this to 118 to get the paperwork in.
We'll continue to 118 at 9 a.m. in the morning for plea.
Next, Judge Jay Patel on behalf of Lawrence Cinco, 22 CF 1299. We're almost finished with this one. Ms. Sharpless and I just need to figure out the restitution component, if any. If we can set this to 118, it's our hope to have it resolved on that date.
Very good. So we'll continue on the miscellaneous docket for plea.
Next, Judge Jay Patel on behalf of Kenneth Eric Gerard, 22 CF 3013. Been speaking to the state last week. If we can set this for 118 for hopeful plea.
will continue it till 1/18 at 9 a.m. for a plea.
Next, Jay Patel on behalf of Devin Henry Johns, 23 CF 147, 23 CF 149. Depositions are set on 1/9 if we can get the 2/12 date.
Without objection, Your Honor.
Where are we at as far as that? You know, I'm just asking this because we're kind of approaching that magic year mark. Does it look like, are these the final depositions, the first depositions?
Probably first and final, to be frank, and there's not a lot of witnesses. There's just some stuff that I had to do on my end. I've got all the warrants, so we're getting closer to the end.
So
And
we'll
then-
continue it to full cycle continuance, but hopefully we'll at least kind of be bringing the discovery in for landing, figuring out where we're at, whether
Correct.
we're going to go forward or not.
And finally, Jay Patel on behalf of Jason Scott Kremges, 23 CF 1274. If we could set this for 1/18 so I can get the paperwork ready for the PTI.
So we'll continue to 1/18, I'm going to say for a plea, but it's a PTI.
All right, for Mr. Dees, he has 2 cases on the docket. Jay Patel on behalf of Robert Dees. First one is Keontae Pride, 22 CF 2486.
Okay.
He's asking to continue this case. Guess there's further negotiation, and he has another case, another trafficking case that's handled by another lawyer.
Bride does?
Yes.
Are you all trying to do a universal settlement?
Yes, we are.
So I was gonna ask because
This case is older, Your Honor, and Mr. Dees has, I'm sorry, I'm not saying, Mr. Dees has posed a piecemeal deal. We are looking at that. I don't know that we're gonna be able to do that, but the trafficking case is new, so if we can work this one out piecemeal, we will do that hopefully in February. If we cannot, then we'll also try to get the trafficking case to where we can try the trafficking case sooner rather than later was my plan.
so you're anticipating trying the trafficking case first if you can't get something, can't get some resolution.
Yes, Your Honor, the state would try the trafficking case first because it'd be a minimum mandatory case.
Okay, so we'll continue this to 2/12. Hopefully hopefully we'll have some clear resolution of kind of where we're going, at least by then.
Next, Judge Jay Patel on behalf of Robert Dees for James Ellis, 23 CF 1294.
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, Your Honor, the state received the restitution payment, Your Honor. And at this time, the state's going to announce the null pros of this case.
Very good. Court will acknowledge the null pros by the state.
Next, Judge Jay Patel on behalf of Jack Wilkins. His client's name is Cameron Calais, 23 CF 0808.
Hold on a second. Okay. Yes, sir, go ahead.
He's asking this be set to next month, so I'd suggest the 1/18 docket so he can tender a written plea agreement.
State?
Jay, the last name, please.
Calais Wilkins.
Oh, I'm sorry, what was his name? Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Wilkins and I did speak. We do have a misdemeanor plea anticipated, so by January, we should have a plea and abstention ready in her case.
Very good, so we'll continue this till 1/18, just for the plea.
Okay.
It'll be at the miscellaneous docket, it'll be in the morning.
Yes, sir. Flowers case is next. Jay Patel on behalf of Michael Flowers for Seth Andrew Beavers.
Hold on a second, let me get those cases. Go ahead.
Mr. Mr. Flowers is requesting a continuance. I understand the basis is that there's an essential witness that they need to depose, and the state is to get Mr. Flowers' contact information for that person.
Certainly the court will continue, but is there any
Is
issues
that
with
Mr.
that? Is the
Rivers?
state gonna be able to do that?
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct. There is a witness who the state doesn't get a hold of, and we're working on that.
Do you anticipate any issues with that?
No, sir, I am not. I have an investigator on that already, I believe. So if, we'll work on it with Mr. Flowers.
So we'll continue that to 2/12.
Next, Jay Patel on behalf of Michael Flowers for Casey Allen Craig. Depositions are set on January 24, 25, and 26. As such, he'd ask for the 2/12 date.
Obviously, if you got depositions, I would note though, gotta bring it up. It was announced last time. Is there some problem with the deposition? Why are we just now getting depositions when you announced last? I mean, obviously, if you got depositions, I can't force it on top with the defense.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I'm just.
Are these gonna complete the depositions? Is that your understanding? Unless there's some exigent circumstances.
I don't know, Judge.
State?
I would hope so, Your Honor, and I'm sorry, I was just looking at our email communication, I don't remember exactly why depositions are just being announced that, and I apologize to the court for that.
So we'll come back on 2/12?
Yes,
I don't think you can answer this, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. Is this the last? You probably not.
What I can say, Judge, if he's got depo set on 3 days, fingers crossed that everyone shows up, but I never have that much luck. Hence all these motions that I've been in front of this court.
Continue to 2/12.
Next, Judge Jay Patel on behalf of Michael Flowers for Ethan Edge, 23 CF 1603. Depositions are set for February 5. As such, he'd ask for the 2/12 date.
When are the depots set in the other case, the Craig case?
January 24, 25, and 26.
Okay. Very good. We'll continue this to 2/12.
Next, Jay Patel on behalf of Michael Flowers for Xavier Fortney, 23 CF 2362. They've just received discovery, and they're asking to continue the case to set up depositions.
This is probably the first time out. It's a recent case. We'll continue to 2/12.
2/12?
Correct.
Thank you.
Next, Jay Patel on behalf of Michael Flowers for Carson Ray Honeycutt. Depositions are set for January 9. We can set this to 2/12.
Very good. This is a relatively recent case as well, so we'll continue until 2/12. Depots on 1/9.
Now, finally, Mr. Shaw's cases. Jay Patel on behalf of Tim Shaw for Siobhan Allen. Depots are set for 2/5/24. If we can continue the case to 2/12.
When are the depots set?
2/5.
Okay.
Next,
We'll
Jay.
come back on 2/12 as well.
Next, Jay Patel on behalf of Tim Shaw for Roy Delano Alston, 23 CF 1200. Mr. Shaw is asking to continue this case. He intends to file a motion to suppress this week and get it set on your docket.
State?
That's fine.
Very good. And I'll just note that the motion is suppressed as expected.
Next, Jay Patel on behalf of Tim Shaw for Christopher Paul Berry.
And as soon as that is filed, go ahead and tell them to call, to say, because they'll have to set in the afternoon of the miscellaneous. That's individually scheduled, so tell them to set it, we'll get it on the books.
I'll let him know that.
Sure.
Next, Judge, I just announced Christopher Paul Berry.
He's got 2 cases, right?
Yes. 19 CF 1265, 19 CF 1466. Mr. Shaw understands that this case is significantly old. However, he was just retained in August and is asking for a continuance so he can complete his review of the discovery.
Just for historical, I'm certainly, I understand that. Why are we here
So
multiple years?
I understand, Your Honor, and it did, honestly, this case preceded me being in this division, so it took me a while to figure out why this case was so old. It did fall off the docket. I don't know if it was the defendant's failure to appear, but there was some reason why this case was not on the docket. It got put back on the docket recently, and then Mr. Keach had the case, and then he retained Mr. Shaw. I did reach out to Mr. Shaw, ask him if he received all the discovery. He was confirming for me that he did get the discovery in both cases, so I now know he has all the discovery. There were some depositions that were taken by Mr. Keach. I did try to get the recording or transcript for him, so I believe he has everything he needs now. And I've asked him, Mr. Patel, if you can remind him that if there's something that he thinks he's missing, just to
Do
have
you
him
anticipate, and I know you can't speak for Mr. Shaw and Mr. Patel, you might not be able to as well, but do you anticipate depositions? Are we needing some additional?
Your Honor, I think Mr. Keach did a fair amount of depositions prior to me and he did some with me. So I'm not sure there are any more depositions needed, but obviously if there's somebody else that needs to be deposed, Mr. Shaw can let me know and we'll try to get that done before February. Squeeze him in.
That's what I would request, is that, if there are some depositions, this kind of needs to be
This is on my list of
a high
cases that-
priority, list because of the age and particularly the 1466, pretty not insignificant charge.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll continue this to 212 and hopefully.
Next, Jay Patel on behalf of Tim Shaw for Chance Nicholas Boyd. He asks that this be set on docket day, no subpoenas.
And that is in anticipation of a plea?
That's what it sounded like to me, Judge.
Because it was announced last, so that makes sense. Okay.
Next, Jay Patel on behalf of Tim Shaw for Patrick Sammy Broadnax, 23 CF 14. He'd asked that this also be set for docket day without subpoenas, likely plea.
Very good. The court will set it for docket day 12/18 at 9 a.m. for plea.
Next, Jay Patel on behalf of Tim Shaw for Robert Leroy Angelkins. It appears that this case is very new, and he hasn't received all the discovery yet.
Where are we at with the discovery from the state?
Your Honor, we have provided discovery back in October on that case. We have not heard that there's been any issues or concerns with that.
I'll let him know. I mean, having had these cases, stuff tends to trickle in, or I don't know if he's requested everything that he needs, but I'll certainly let him know.
The only thing I would ask is just whether he sent, you appear for him, the next one, next hearing, give me a sense for where we're at.
Yes, sir.
Is he gonna need discovery? What does he have left?
And this is one.
The state's kind of waiting on him a little bit.
We did provide everything, and we didn't know whether or not he wished to view the evidence due to the nature of the evidence, the remainder of it, the actual images. He had not contacted us about setting up a lab visit or anything. So as soon as he's available, then we can do that.
Okay,
Next, so 212 on that, Judge?
correct.
And then next, Jay Patel on behalf of Tim Shaw for Nathaniel Fannin, 23 CF 1505. It appears that the state is trying to make contact with the alleged victim, and he is requesting a continuance.
Judge, that conversation I had with Mr. Shaw is specifically about the defendants trying to return to the property that he shared with the victim. I tried to contact the victim to see if the victim actually had left, which is what I was being told by Mr. Shaw. I wasn't able to confirm that with the victim, so I think Mr. Shaw is going to file a motion. That was my understanding coming into today. So I think we were going to
Was
continue.
gonna file a motion, what's the motion?
I believe he was going to file a motion to change the terms of the bond conditions. That was my understanding coming into today. So that's my report to the court.
Okay, well, where are we at with regards to, I mean, it's not an old case, but anyway.
I
Hopefully,
understand. I don't believe that there's any problems with discovery, and I believe it has been exchanged. I can double check. But
So-
given the age of the case, I believe so.
by the next cycle, need to be able to report where we're at, where we're going. Are we going to trial? Are we trying to get a resolution? This should be able to move this case.
Thank you.
Counsel?
Next, Jay Patel on behalf of Tim Shaw for John Geiger, 23 CF 695. Judge, it appears that Mr. Shaw, the notes indicate that he's waiting on a bed for an inpatient treatment program. The depots have been taken, and so he asked for a continuance. Likely that the bed probably has something to do with getting the case resolved.
State?
Your Honor, I don't know what's going on with the defendant trying to get an inpatient treatment. That's a defense issue. I have nothing to report there.
Well, what do you have to report about the case in general? Where are we at? I'm generally focusing primarily on the defense because they're having to do most of the work, but you also need to let me know where you're at and where the state's at with these cases.
Certainly, the defense attorney has
When
not.
there's not anything being done on it.
The defense
Sorry,
attorney
go ahead.
has not contacted me to set depositions in this case that I am aware of.
Okay.
Of course, I can.
Maybe you can call him up and tell him we need to move this case. If he's not moving it, it's your obligation to get him moving. Defense is out on bond. They're not always in a real hurry to get cases gone to trial. I think that's the case sometimes. Okay, so we'll continue this till 2/12.
Next, Jay Patel on behalf of Tim Shaw for Jerry Lee Hollingsworth. Mr. Shaw is intending to file a motion to suppress this week. Would ask that it be set to 2/12 so he can get the hearing set.
What was?
This was also announced last time as the last continuance. Somebody's got to let me know why we're having these. I believe it's the last continuance, and we're coming up with the new motions being filed at the last minute. So Mr. Shaw needs to make note of it. If he says this last, he's got to at least come and let me know why. Give me a good reason why it's not last. I'm not putting you on spot, you may not know, and I'm not trying to, be yelling at you.
I understand.
We're trying to move these cases, and this is one of the largest dockets I've had this time, in spite of the fact that we're pushing all these cases hard. And I know you all are in many respects, trying to do the same, but partly my job to kind of keep pushing. So what's the state, where are we at with this?
Your Honor, I believe Mr. Patel indicated that Mr. Shaw is intending on filing a motion to suppress, although I'm not exactly sure on what, given the nature of the case, is a solicitation case. Certainly we'll be prepared to address it prior to the next the pretrial date if it gets filed and we get it set.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we continue this to docket day?
Sounds good, Judge.
Just for a status. I'm not gonna go to trial on it, but, Well, let's just see, let's have a status and figure out kind of where we're at.
Thank
Yes,
you,
sir.
Judge.
And finally, Jay Patel, on behalf of Tim Shaw for John Edmund Holmes, he'd ask that this be set for docket day without subpoenas.
I mean, it's obvious from Mr. Shaw's cases that a number of his cases are being set in docket. He's working his case, and I appreciate that. And I acknowledge that, and I'm noticing that as well. So no, I mean, you're passing it on.
Certainly, Judge.
Have both sides of what we're trying to do. So we'll continue this till 12/18.
Madam Clerk, everything covered? I have nothing further, may be excused. Thank you.
Mr. Swiatek. Maestro.
Did you go to the other night?
I'm sorry?
Did you go to the Home Depot?
I did.
A lot of people said that was our best one.
I would concur. It was very special. So I've got, that I've already signed a continuance for Mr. Evans. That's what I have in my notes. Did you-
Okay, we just sent it through Friday and I didn't get a response.
We did get it. Although I would appreciate it if you can get these motion to continue a week before or so, because
We would normally,
coming out with new ones and.
Judge, we would normally do that, but the deposition problem arose that day.
So anyway, we did get it signed.
Okay.
My notes say.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Ms. Dudley. Is Larissa here?
I've seen her this morning.
She was this year, she is.
Okay, well, I'm sure she's probably working with one of her clients. So when she comes in, just tell her to wave at me and we'll get her up. Mr. Brooks?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Come on, Mr. Brooks.
Ken Brooks for Shane Donaldson, 23 CF 865. Your Honor, we're asking to continue the 2/12/24 date. The other dates you mentioned earlier is, as you were talking to counsel, I've got trials on all those dates. So 2/12 is the
where
first
are
time.
we
This
at
is
with
going to
the
be
case?
a plea or a trial.
Okay. Well, clear trial. But we're not ready to go on this cycle? We ready to go? Come back next week? Clear trial? Our trials will be right after the first of the year, or the week after the.
Next week is part of the problem. That's when I have trials going.
So you've got trials next week?
What's that?
You've got a trial next week?
I've got 2, Judge.
Okay. That's fine. You can get somebody else. This is just docking. We're just gearing it up for it. So can you get somebody to cover for you next week? Because we're not going to trial until would be the first week of the next year.
I'm not sure that, I'll try, Judge. I'll try and do it. My partner, of course, is on the bench now, so I don't have anybody, he can't do it for me anymore.
Mr. Brooks, can you, just a moment, Your Honor, may I, Mr. Brooks?
Yeah.
Sure.
Judge, I'm going to be getting an offer from the state at this point, so, and I don't have that yet. That's one of the reasons we need to continue it to the 12th.
Your Honor, can we just leave it for plea or continue?
Okay. We'll plea or continue. Are we announcing this will be the last?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Real last?
Real last.
Real
So
last.
next time, we'll either go to trial or we'll have a plea.
That's correct.
Thank you, Judge. And I'll reach out to Mr. Brooks today.
Okay, so we'll continue this till 2/12 and 9 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have this morning.
Thank you, Mr. Brooks. Mr. Sanders. Rusty Sanders.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Rusty Sanders on behalf of Russell Ellis, who's approaching. And we would like to leave this case set on the trial docket. As last time we were before the court, Your Honor had announced it was the last continuance.
Very good. state?
Again, Your Honor, I'm just finding out this moment that we were gonna leave this set for trial. If we can leave it for plea or continue, we can talk. I know there was some ongoing negotiations in the civil realm.
If it was announced last time, then
Well, Your Honor, it's not our intent to ambush them, and we are hopeful that the case will be resolved, and we're
why don't we
working.
come back on docket day and see where everything's at and see where we're at with it?
All right, yes, sir.
Hopefully it'll be
And
a
the state
plea.
will try, Your Honor, but I can't promise that the state's gonna be ready for trial. If they don't tell me prior to today that they're going to announce it ready for trial and that everything's done.
We're not.
I'm on both sides'
Yep.
obligation. I'm
Yeah.
not here trying to point blame. I'm here trying to move cases.
And Ms. Sharpless, we're not announcing that we want to go to trial, but the court is concerned about continuing the case, and he announced last
I
time.
understand that if we can't come to an agreement before then we'll have to go
But
to trial.
when we put on the record, based on what the attorneys tell me, that this is the last continuance, then you need to put a note on your docket that this is last, so that you'll at least be prepared to argue to the court why it shouldn't be the last. And that goes on both of y'all. If it says last, I know you're ready.
No, sir. We're prepared to argue to the court why.
Well, yeah. So, let's continue till docket day, work on a plea, and see where we're at.
Thank you. That's all I have, Mayor.
That's all you got? Thank you very much. Ms. Dudley, you ready?
Yes, sir.
You're normally first up, Ms. Dudley. You gotta have to sit in the gallery. You're not used to that.
Yes, sir. The first one I have is Todd Adams, 22 CF 1584.
Hold on just a second.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
You can look at that set for docket day. I believe the state's offer is available till docket day, so we'll have a decision on docket day, what we're gonna do.
Very good.
On Crystal Andis Kennedy, 22 CF 2528. We were waiting on a certified prior conviction to make it a felony. If we could leave for docket day for status, I have asked the state if they will let it plead to misdemeanor, and they're gonna check on that. So if we can get it done before Monday, we will, but if we leave it set for Monday for status.
State?
Yes, Your Honor, that's what we discussed.
Okay. So we'll continue it to docket day for status.
Yes, sir.
12/18.
Kerry Cloyd in 23 CF 378 and 23 CF 380. The state and I have been working on this one. We're looking at a restitution issue, possibly for a DPA. If we could leave it set for Monday for status.
Yes, Your Honor, that's what we discussed.
Okay. Continue to 12/18 for status.
Siobhan Coward in 22 CF 2730. We are, if we could leave it set for docket day, I'm hoping to have a plea by that day.
Okay. So if you don't have a plea, are you all ready to go to trial?
If there's not a plea.
It was announced last.
Yes, sir, that's fine. It should be a plea, though.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Tyrese Davis in 23 CF 2273. We are still waiting on discovery in this case.
This is a relatively new case, very new case, so we'll continue this till 2/12.
John Elmore in 22 CF.
Are you all close to being able to exchange discovery on that project? Let me just jump on.
On which case, Your Honor?
This is the Tyrese Davis.
Yes, Your Honor, yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yes, sir. John Elmore in 22 CF 2580. We were looking into waiting for the co-defendant to get transferred to this division. We're looking into setting depots on, one of the witnesses didn't show up, one of the main witnesses didn't show up. So we're looking at resetting the depot and maybe make a counteroffer to the state, see if we can get it resolved. So we can get a continuance.
So we'll continue this to 2/12?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good.
Kawana Gamble, 23 CF 1224. We got discovery, I believe we got a link sent last week, if I can get a continuance in this case.
State,
That's correct, Judge.
we'll continue that until 2/12.
Montrez Glover in 23 CF 2357. I believe we got a discovery link sent last week as well. That's for continuance.
Again, this is a brand-new case. We'll continue to 2/12.
Trayvon Harris in 23 CF 1366. We have depot set on January 17th, so that's for continuance.
Is that the last of the depots?
It's
or-
the first depot, so we'll see who shows up now.
We'll continue to 2/12.
Yes, sir. The next case is Cornelius Lee in 21 CF 1406. And this one is the cold case. We do have, I believe, the state is taking a depot. The defense is witness at the end of December. So we can get a continuance, so we can get that done, and we'll see where we are.
Your Honor, just compared to this case, Mr. Rogers, but I have been in contact with Ms. Dudley. We do have a deposition scheduled after the end of December 20th. The state anticipates making an offer and go from there.
When are the depots?
The deposition is on December 20th in the afternoon. If we can maybe set this for a status in January, that way we can keep it on track.
I actually think it's December 28th is the depot.
Is it December
Yeah,
28th?
28th.
Okay, so we'll continue this till, why don't we just come back on our miscellaneous on 116 for status, just kind of see where we're at.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next case I have is Tyler Merritt in 21 CF 937 and 22 CF 2894. We are still working on getting discovery. There are items that were missing. I know the state suggested leaving it set for docket day for status to see if they've made any progress on getting those items.
So what are we missing?
So I newly retained, so I know the case is older, but I only had it maybe a couple months. I don't have the full offense reports. In addition to some other evidence I did email the state about. They've been working on getting it, I just don't have it at this point.
Why is this case so why are we still here?
I was retained a couple months ago,
I'm just kind
so yeah.
of getting a
Yes, sir.
general feel, because
Your Honor, this
You've
is,
done-
at least one of these cases was a DEA issue, and Ms. Dudley made me aware that when she got the discovery, she did not get the videos of the offense report. I sent her the videos, and I'm working on getting her the offense report as soon as I can.
Okay. So all I would ask is, we'll come back, we'll continue till 2/12.
Yes, sir.
If you'll give me a good idea of
Yes,
kind
sir.
of where we're at
Yes, sir.
by then. I know you work
Yeah,
your
well,
cases hard.
I'm hoping as soon as I get the discovery, I can figure out if I need depots, we can get that at least scheduled by the next court date.
That'd be great. Thank you.
The next case I have is Derek Reed in 22 CF 96 and 22 CF 654. So this case was originally in Judge Brown's division, and I think a couple months ago he recused. We are still, there's a witness that I believe changed her statement when she took the depot in a different case. We've been trying to get her served for a deposition, but we have been unable to. The address we have hasn't worked. We've been given a couple different addresses. The state's looking into that, see if it can get us a good address so we can try to get these cases resolved.
Okay. So we're just asking
For a continuance, Your Honor.
for a full cycle.
Yes, sir.
They are older. Hopefully we can get some.
Yes, sir. Well, we
get some
don't,
movement.
we don't have offers in these cases, so we gotta make sure we got everything done there. So, I believe that's all I have.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. It's 10:30. Why don't we take just, I know we've got a few more private counsel. Why don't we just take like a very short 5, 10 at the max break? Just so we can kind of get up and stretch. All right.
Check out the soaps, bath bombs, and other bath and body products, all made by hand with natural ingredients at Hub City Soapery. Visit us at 1092 North Verdon Boulevard in Crestview or shop online at hubcitysoapery.com. Hub City Soapery.
This is Tiffany Woodham, State Farm's newest agent in Crestview. I'd like to personally invite you to stop by my office for a no-cost policy review. Let me help you start saving today. Call in, walk in, or click in at yourcrestview.agent.com.
Alex Barthay from the UPS store once again, and I wanted to let you know about our Sunday hours. We're open now 7 days a week. Normal hours that you've been expecting, but now we're open Saturday 10 to 4, Sunday 10 to 3, and it's both our Crestview, Fort Walton Beach, and Eglin Air Force Base locations. So you have things to do, go and do it. Just know the UPS store is going to be here. Again, Sundays 10 until 3 p.m.
What can I help you with?
I think I was bit by a vampire.
This is definitely concerning, but I don't have any experience with vampire bites. I do, however, have training in accident investigation from the Florida Highway Patrol, and I'm proud to say that I've received many awards that... Hey, you feeling okay, buddy?
Injured? Take a breath. Call Coy.
Hi, I'm Wanda Roberts. For the last 20 years, I've been helping the residents of Northwest Florida buy and sell their properties. My office is just 1 block south of the courthouse in historic downtown Crestview. Give us a call at 850-398-5389.
Hi, I'm Michael Gilbert, defense attorney with Warrior Law. I represent those accused in Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and Walton County. If you or anyone you know has been accused of a crime, give us a call. We can help.
The Cottage Formalware, located at 648 North Wilson Street, has all your needs for looking your best. We have homecoming, prom, and pageant dresses. We have tux rental suits, vests, ties. Need something casual? We have that too. Shop Hometown First and visit us on Facebook at the Cottage Boutique and Formalware. We're located at 648 North Wilson Street. Call 850-682-2446. C&C Asian Market, located at 294 North Main Street in historic downtown Crestview, has the largest selection of Asian noodles, rice, and sauces in Northwest Florida. With more than 2,000 items on their shelves, you'll have no problem finding exactly what you need for preparing that authentic Asian meal. Open Monday through Thursday from 9 till 8, Friday and Saturday from 9 till 9, and Sunday from noon till 6 p.m. Be sure to check out our Facebook page for our weekly specials.
Hello, this is Chris Norman at Bulldog Bail Bonds. Our office is in Crestview, Florida, but we service 7 Northwest Florida counties. If you ever find yourself in a jam, please give us a call. We're here to help you out.
Congratulations, Crestview's very own Dixie Dan Powell of Powell Injury Law, for your recent jury verdict of $11.5 million for your client from a death and injury against an inflatable amusement company. Recognized in 2017 as one of the top 100 civil trial lawyers in the state of Florida, and Dixie is AV preeminent rated. Dixie Dan Powell works tirelessly for his clients, as is evident by this extraordinary verdict. If you're taking your case to trial, be prepared. Contact Dixie Dan Powell and Powell Injury Law, 850-306-2667.
Cyclone Bakery Cafe is 2 blocks from the courthouse on Crestview's historic Main Street. We serve handmade pastries, espresso, and lunch items, and we're open Tuesday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., serving lunch from 11 to 2. We hope to see you soon.
Hello, I am Bonnie from Body Be Healthy here in Crestview. We have been serving the area since 1999. We're an alternative health food store. If you're interested in bettering your health, we'd like to invite you to stop by. We're located in Court Plaza. Stop by and let us help you be healthy.
I'm Amanda Gaskin with Briarpatch Realty. Helping qualified heroes save money is my passion. When I help a hero buy or sell a home, they receive a check from Homes for Heroes. Check out amandasheroes.com for more information.
For more than 70 years, the sweet aroma of the Crestview's Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs has permeated the downtown area. If you have not experienced the unique flavor of Crestview's Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs, then I encourage you to join us for lunch. Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m., Friday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m., and Saturday from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. We're located in historic downtown.
And Your Honor, if I may briefly call one out of order, Mr. Adrian Watson. I have co-defendant, Ms. Patrice Cashwell.
Is that Ms. Cashwell's?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. Patrice Cashwell on behalf of Benny Richardson.
And Your Honor, we're asking for a continuance in this. There is a witness that was identified in a, I believe it was 12th amended discovery. That came out in October. We've got the deposition tentatively set. The earliest we could get it with all the co-defendants counsel and Ms. Davis was March 6th. He is currently being held in federal penitentiary, which is one of the issues. The scheduling is difficult.
I still want to come back, even though that deposition is going to be after our next full cycle. I still want to come back, and Ms. Cashwell, if you need to, Mr. Durrell just kind of report for you, that's fine. Just somebody can stand in front of you. You had to come all the way from Pensacola.
Thank you.
But we'll continue to 212 and hopefully get a report that, the deposition's, still set and everything's good.
And Your Honor, for the state, just to let defense counsel know all at once, which might be more expeditious than trying to call them after court. I just spoke to Ms. Davis. The state is in accord with the continuance. I apologize for not being out here. We're just trying to make sure we don't have to push this to another court date just to do what we're doing now. But the state will endeavor, if we can try to get the witness back here sooner, to expedite the process and keep everybody in the loop if we're able to do that. But right now the deposition is hard scheduled for March 6th.
You can do it earlier, it's always preferred, but
agreed.
It's a last witness.
You got a bunch of folks, scheduling becomes exponentially more complicated.
Yes, sure.
Understand that. Okay. Thank you. I think that's all you got, Ms. Cashel.
Okay, and that was State of Florida versus Benny Richardson. Okay, thank you.
That's correct. That's 21 CF 2254.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, just for the record, mine is Mr. Adrian Watson, 21 CF 2223.
Okay, hold on a second. Make sure you get that. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. My next client is Mr. Stephen Abbott. Your Honor, I have received the discovery. I'm currently reviewing that to make sure we have everything. If I may have a continuance to continue reviewing the discovery. I believe this is his first time up.
This first time or certainly at least we'll continue to.
What was the case?
Stephen Abbott.
Thank you.
23 CF 2102.
Your Honor, next is Mr. Caden Bennett, 23 CF 1536. I've been speaking with Ms. Sharpless. She indicates that the state will be extending a PTI offer. I'd leave it at the discretion if we want to leave it set for next week, see if we can get that done in time, or.
Yeah, let's go ahead and set it for docket day, see if we can get it resolved.
I would prefer to do that, Your Honor.
That's 1218.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, next is Ms. Catherine Booker. May we approach on Ms. Booker briefly, Your Honor?
Town Crestview at 107 North Main Street. Call 850-683-1045.
CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer since 1999. We're state licensed and insured, family owned and operated with 24 years of local service. We specialize in shingles and metal, re-roofs, repairs, and leak specialists. For all of your roofing needs, call us today or visit our website at cqroofing.com. CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer.
Dave's Tire Pros makes buying tires simpler. They offer a straightforward approach to tire and auto service that includes nationwide warranties, a hassle-free experience, and a great selection of Michelin tires. No matter what you drive or where you have driven, Michelin has a tire to fit any need. Visit our store in Crestview or online at daystirepros.com. Tire Pros love the drive.
Hey, I'm David at Family Vision of Crestview. We've been providing excellent optical service for Northwest Florida for over 34 years. Come in and let us take
And our next is Mr. Dominic Clark. We do have depositions scheduled in this matter. We had to reschedule them. I believe they've been set for.
When are the depositions?
That's the old subpoena. I apologize.
I believe it was in January, Your Honor, but
I apologize, Your Honor. I have the old subpoenas.
it looks like it's January the 4th, Mr. Giroux.
Thank you, Ms. Sharpless. If we may have a continuance to get the depositions done, Your Honor.
So we'll continue this till 2/12. Note that the depositions are scheduled for January 4th. Are those the last of the depositions?
Yes,
you
Your Honor.
anticipate?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, very good.
Your Honor, next is Mr. David Cowart, 23 CF 1256. I was in discussions with a potential plea with Ms. Sharpless. I believe we've come to an agreement. I need to run it by my client, make sure that's what he wants to do. If we can leave him set for next week, I should be able to get an answer from him.
Very good. We'll continue until docket day on 12/18 for a plea.
And next is Mr. Alejandro Del Toro Ortega. That is 23 CF 2377. Your Honor, I've recently got the discovery on this. I'm still reviewing that. I believe it's his first time up, if I may have it continue.
It's the first cycle. So court will continue until 2/12.
Your Honor, next is Mr. Frank Dixon. I'd like to leave this for plea or trial, Your Honor.
Karen, can we approach on this, please?
Yes, you may.
Of you.
Check out the soaps, bath bombs, and other bath and body products, all made by hand with natural ingredients. At Hub
Full
City's
cycle continues till 2/12, and the minute sheet would reflect this will be the last day.
Your Honor, next is Ms. Catherine Gerhardstein, 23 CF 1757 and 1758. Your Honor, I've been in discussions with Mr. Lolsko on this one. He's recently extended another offer.
Help me out here, guys. I don't mind you all talking. I know you got to do your work, but if I'm having a hard time hearing the speaker interfere. Go ahead, start again.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Catherine Gerhardstein, 23 CF 1757 and 58. The state has recently extended an amended offer. I need to get in touch with Ms. Gerhardstein. If we can leave her set for next week, I should have an answer.
Okay. We'll continue it to next week. It'll be plea or continue.
And finally, Your Honor, J.R. O'Brien, 23 CF 1789. The state has indicated to me they'll be extending a PTI offer. I just need to get the terms. Mr. Lolsko, do you think we can get that done by next week?
I think I sent you the PTI paperwork actually
You
last
did.
week.
I apologize, Your Honor. I do have that. I do. I should be able to get it to him by, we should have this done by next week.
My suggestion would be we set it for next week and get this one taken care of.
Okay.
Yes, I apologize.
Continue to docket day next week, 12/18.
And I believe that's all I have.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Durrell.
Thank you.
Nice day. Mr. Notes.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Notes.
I've got Brittany Brown, judge. The state and I communicated about that case. Judge, we're going to leave it, clear continue on Ms. Brown's case for docket day.
Okay.
What is your docket day?
12/18, next Monday. Okay, very good.
Then I've got James Allen Casey. Casey, the state now may approach.
You may.
Check out the soaps, bath bombs, and other bath and body products, all made by hand with natural ingredients at Hub City Soapery. Visit us at 1092 North Verdon Boulevard in Crestview or shop online at hubcitysoapery.com. Hub City Soapery.
This is Tiffany Woodham, State Farm's newest agent in Crestview. I'd like to personally invite you to stop by my office for a no-cost policy review. Let me help you start saving today. Call in, walk in, or click in at yourcrestviewagent.com.
Judge, they've called for Mr. Casey in the hallway, and he's not responding.
Very good. State?
Your Honor, at this time, since Mr. Casey's name's been called and he's not present and approaching, the state's going to ask for a capias for failure to appear, please.
Court will order the capias, no bond capias for failure to appear on Mr. Casey.
Judge, the next case I have is Jeremy Cox. Jeremy Cox. Did we call for him in the hallway as well?
State?
Yes, Your Honor, if he is not in the hallway, yes, I would. The state would be asking for a capias.
Judge, if we could approach.
Alex Barthay from the UPS store once again, and I wanted to let you know about our Sunday hours.
State? What's the state's position on this?
Jeremy Cox? Okay, Judge, we've got Jeremy Cox.
Okay, very good.
I want you to stand right there in the foyer, okay? Don't leave the courthouse before we talk. But Judge, give us.
You want to pass over on this case so you can talk with him? Okay.
Yes, sir.
We'll come back on this case.
We're gonna be right up there. Judge, I then have Brooke Davis. Judge, she was present earlier. There she is. Judge, there's reciprocal discovery witness that I provided the state. That state wants me to schedule that deposition of that discovery witness. And they'll then decide what they want to do with the case. So if we could have, I don't know, what's your next?
Full cycle continuance is next February 12th.
February 12th.
9 a.m.
Yes, sir.
Stay in touch with your attorney.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Judge, I then have Alicia Dean.
(22 CF 2547).
Yeah.
Judge, if we could leave it set for docket day, clear continuance. We have been communicating, we just haven't arrived at an understanding yet.
Very good. Stay in good contact the next week. This is, docket day is 12/18, which is next Monday, 9 a.m.
Yep. Judge Karen Heiler, Judge, she's got this new case that the state has sent me a lot of discovery, and I have got to schedule depositions on the 23 case. I expect that I'll be able to get that accomplished by next, if we do a full cycle, I'll be able to get it accomplished by next go around.
Are you, and y'all are working toward some type of universal resolution?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the state objecting to a full cycle continuance?
No, no.
Okay. Court will continue both these cases, 658 and 1429. We'll continue both of them to February 12th at 9 a.m. Stay in good contact with your attorney, ma'am.
And then finally, Judge, I've got Mario Lee. We do have deposition scheduled in January. There's a bunch of co-defendants, so a lot of us working together. So if we could go to 212 also.
We'll continue this till 2/12, 9 a.m.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Noakes. Mr. Catalinic.
Thank you, Judge.
Your Honor, I only have one case on the docket. It's Mr. Dalton David Kitsan, spelled with a K, K-I-T-Z-A-N, 23 CA.
Hold on just a second.
Sorry.
That's no. Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Kitsan, 23 CF 882. Your Honor, we would like to leave this one set for 12/18 for a possible plea or continuance. There's still some outstanding discovery. The state's working on it. Mr. Lasco is working on it. This is a fourth DUI, Your Honor. It's about the video. And there's some outstanding videos that neither the state nor I have received yet. So I don't want to get a full continuance.
That's correct, Your Honor. And to be specific, Mr. Kadlenick and I were both reviewing the evidence last week and discussing this case, and we've been in discussions about this case. But when we were watching the videos, we noticed that there appears to be what we believe a video missing.
And it's a double refusal.
So we're trying to find that video.
I guess that's a good excuse then for overcoming the announcement last cycle that it was the last one. Anyway,
Judge,
these are the type of circumstances.
Yeah, we don't have to continue it, Judge.
And to be clear, we are working the case. We were discussing the video.
And that's why I'm acknowledging that. I'm just
Yes,
trying
Judge.
to tell the difference between them. Plus, I have to acknowledge, I mean, it's the new beard look, looking very distinguished.
Thank you, sir.
Granted, you'll continue just for that.
I appreciate it.
So we'll continue till docket day, and we'll have continue to work on plea or continuance.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
That's all I have, Judge.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
So I've got Mr. Gates down here, but somebody already handled Mr. Gates. Mr. Patel handled Mr. Gates. Mr. Gates is not here, correct?
Mr.
Mike Gates.
He was handled by
I know,
Cotton.
but he's down here, so I'm just announcing if he's here. I think his cases have already been handled. Mr. Nopes, are you ready?
Judge, I need to ask the state.
Take your time. Mr. Newland.
Hey, good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Newland.
Your Honor, Isaac Newland for Keith Kilpatrick for Johanna Dwyer. Dwyer's present. This is going to be a plea. May I approach?
You may. Thank you. Mr. Newland, would you announce the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. Judge, essentially she's going to plea as charged. Count 1, principal, robbery with a deadly weapon. Count 2, principal, false imprisonment. Count 3, burglary of a structure of conveyance. Count 4, grand theft of a firearm. Count 5, grand theft of a controlled substance. She's going to be adjudicated guilty on all counts, placed on 1 year of community control, followed by 9 years of standard probation, with early termination after 5 years if all requirements are completed and no violations. That's to be concurrent among all counts. She's to testify truthfully against the co-defendants and meet with the ASA for any trial preparation. Standard fines and costs. No firearms, no drugs without a prescription, substance abuse evaluation and recommended treatment. No contact with the victim or co-defendants. 50 hours community service work that can be bought out, and successfully complete an online anti-theft course.
State.
Yes, Your Honor, that is the state's agreement, and it was in consultation with the victim, Your Honor. States comply with Marcy's law. And this is going to be a downward departure, Your Honor. I do have the score sheet printed out, but it's on the printer downstairs. I had to correct something.
And what's the basis of the downward departure?
A legitimate uncoerced plea bargain.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I understand the plea is charged to count 1. I'm having a hard time tracking your reading your.
Yes, sir. I think there was a little bit of confusion in that some of the charges were modified. And so originally stated on the agreement that she would plead to a lesser included. However, there was an amended information that was filed by the state, so she's really just pleading as charged to the counts listed on the agreement.
So I think the only thing that's going to be amended from the amended information is the burglary charge. charge, Your Honor. I think everything else is as charged,
And that is count 3.
Yes.
So basically, 1, 2, 4, and 5, you're pleading as charged. And there'll be adjudication and then a lesser included on count 3, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Correct, State?
Yes, Your Honor, that seems correct.
Mr. Wire, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the information you're about to provide this court is the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Mr. Wire, you heard your attorney state the terms of your plea agreement. And those same terms are contained in the written plea agreement that I see you've signed. Have you, first of all, read this plea agreement closely?
Yes, Your Honor.
And have you gone over it in detail with your attorney, made sure you had all your legal questions answered?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because importantly, you're giving up some valuable legal rights and the right to go to a trial, confront witnesses, force the state to prove their case beyond all those are being waived in order to have a final adjudication and a final resolution of your case. Is that what you're wanting to do here today?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand that by doing this, you're substantially impacting your rights in order to get this agreement here today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you had all your legal questions answered of your plea agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. Based upon that testimony, the court will accept your plea agreement. And it's as charged in counts 1, 2, 4, and 5. There'll be an adjudication of guilt, and then to a lesser included of burglary of a conveyance, which is count 3. That's also an adjudication of guilt. And so, I understand what you're trying to do as far as the probation, but I don't know that it's exactly properly structured. The lesser included is what type of maximum sentence?
Oh, yes, Judge.
The count 3, because the reason why I'm saying that is that all the others,
The court is actually pointing out something that is important, I think, and that probably needs to be cleaned up on the plea agreement. So everything that she's pleading to, with the exception of count 1, is a third-degree felony. So the maximum on those is 5 years of probation. So it would be.
In count 1, what's the max?
The count 1 is a first-degree felony, so the maximum is 25 years. 30.
So as to that, you're doing the
Community
1 plus 9 standard probation.
Correct.
The others are,
5 years of probation concurrent.
well, but there's 1 on community control,
Yeah.
followed by 4.
4 on standard probation.
And they're all concurrent, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, they're all concurrent with each other.
So we're gonna
You
do,
need to make, you understand?
I understand exactly what you're saying, Judge. So we're gonna do it on count 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be 9 on count 1?
Count 1 as to counts 2 through 5, you'll have 1 year of community control followed by 4 years of standard probation, all running concurrent. So it's not changing your probation numbers, but it's being more accurate because you have to actually sentence according to each count. I have to do a separate sentence. Oftentimes they're running together. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so this is not changing your underlying, but it's just making sure it's technically correct. Do you need to talk with your attorney about this at all?
No, Your Honor, I understand.
Okay. So again, based upon the plea agreement and the clarification, the court's sentencing you as to count 1, which is the first-degree felony to 1 year of community control, followed by 9 years of standard probation, with early term at 5 years if all requirements are completed and no violations. As to the other 4 counts, they're all third-degree felonies, which are maximum of 5 years. And so, court sentencing you to those concurrent sentences of 1 year of community control, followed by 4 years of standard probation. Each one of those 4 charges are all concurrent and concurrent with count 1 as well. So the bottom line is 1 year of community control, 9 years of standard probation. You understand that? There's a lot of other issues. You have, importantly, you're agreeing to testify truthfully against co-defendants and meet with the state attorney for any trial preparation. You understand that? That is a condition of your probation. So if you violated that and you weren't truthful and cooperative in that, they could violate your probation here. And obviously the maximum first-degree felony is maximum. What's the maximum of first-degree felony, counsel? Life, right? So, I mean, this is maximum of the other 4 is 5 years in prison. So you've got a lot riding on all of this. Do you understand that? Do you believe this is in your best interest to do it like this? Yes?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. This is actually being recorded. I know it, we repeat these over and over again, but it's important that you, if you have any questions concerning any of this, because the last thing I'm going to say to you is that even though you're being sentenced today, you have 30 days to appeal this, okay? Because these are serious, you know. Unfortunately, many people who go on probation don't always successfully complete probation, which means they end up going to prison. And you're 1 step away from it because you're on community control. So you're not going to get as much slack even as some other people on probation. Because usually if community control, the next step from community control, they got no way to step that up. So what are they going to be recommending?
Prison.
Prison. So you're going to have to wake up every morning. It's going to have to be, you know, item number 1 in your to-do list every day for the next, well, until it's completed and either runs out or may be terminated early if you stay straight on this. Do you understand all that?
Yes, Your Honor.
There's some other things, you know, obviously no firearms, drugs, substance abuse evaluation, recommended treatment, the other things that are contained in here. So do you have any questions concerning any of this?
No, Your Honor.
Is there a factual basis for the entry of this plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
And this is a downward departure, but it's being done based upon uncoerced negotiation with the state.
Yes, Your Honor, and we will provide the score sheet to you as soon as I can go downstairs and get it off the printer. I did have to fix that 3rd-degree felony, so.
Okay. Do you have any questions, ma'am?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
Your Honor, I did have one case for Susan Delquist. It used to be Susan Martinez, Your Honor, but the case is Jermaine Britton, 23 CF 1850.
Okay. Tell me the attorney.
Last name Delquusi.
Oh, Del Bosque?
Yes.
Like I said, I knew her as.
Jermaine Britton?
Yes, yes, sir. 23 CF 1850, Jermaine Britton. She's requesting a continuance.
This looks like it's the first full cycle. Continuance is recent.
Yes, Your Honor, and my notes reflect that she does have an offer and a score sheet, and she should have the discovery. So, and she does communicate with me, so if she needs anything else, she can always reach out with me. I don't have a problem getting in touch with her.
Okay, very good. So we'll continue this to 212. Hopefully we'll make some progress before then.
Very good. I think that's all I have. Thank you. Excuse. Good to see you, Judge.
Mr. Weinstock. Mr. Weinstock here. Are you ready, Mr. Jones? Come on.
Judge, if we can just put Mr. Cox on for a week from today on your docket day, plea or continuance.
Okay. Hold on just a second. continue this to docket day, which is next Monday, 12/18 at 9 a.m.
Yes, sir.
Is that for a plea or continuance?
Plea or continuance, Judge.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Stay in touch with your attorney, okay?
Your Honor, the court just called Mr. Weinstock. Mr. Heath covered for him earlier on Mr. Johnson's case. It was continued.
That's correct. And I apologize if I don't pronounce this name correct, but Ms. Cruz?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Tyrese Cruz on behalf of Mario Eric Forbes, 23 CF 1409.
Where are we at with this case?
Your Honor, we're going to be able to resolve this one today. The state has offered and the defendant has accepted a pretrial intervention agreement where prosecution will be deferred for 6 months, providing that he completes the term of that agreement.
Is that based upon a plea agreement or just a separate PTS?
It's a PTI with a plea agreement as a backup should he fail to complete the PTI. I have that if I can pass it.
Right there?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. So do we need to give the PTI to the probation, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
So let me just inquire of your client and a couple things. So Mr. Forbes, would you please raise your right hand, sir? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so this is a little bit of an unusual plea agreement because you're agreeing to do a pretrial intervention basically within a plea agreement, okay? So, and that's a very important distinction for you to understand because you've agreed to certain terms in the pretrial intervention program, and if you successfully complete that, and there's no reason you can't be successful, then your case will be dismissed. That's very good. But the reverse of that, by entering this plea agreement, if you don't complete this, you're going to automatically, it's like you would be pleading guilty and we would go straight to a sentence. Do you understand that?
I understand, Your Honor.
Have you gone over all that, kind of the legal ins and outs of that with your attorney? Make sure you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You believe that that's in your best interest to enter into this kind of hybrid type of plea agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And the state's in agreement, obviously, as well?
That's correct, Judge.
Very good. Mr. Forbes, based upon that, the court will accept your plea agreement. Counsel, I'm going to ask you to hand this to the probation right back there, the lady raising her hand. And you can follow up with them at the appropriate time. Okay, any questions?
No, Your Honor. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. That concludes my business.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Mr. Harsher.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Dustin Harsher on behalf of Jalen Driver. This is case number 23CF499, Your Honor. I recently spoke with Ms. Sharpless of the state. I believe I have all the discovery in this case now. I've ordered deposition transcripts. The depositions were performed by the public defender in this case. I should be getting those back sometime this week. My client lives in Tennessee, Your Honor, so I would just ask for a continuance to the next cycle so I have time to communicate trial strategy, get this thing ready for trial, or discuss possible plea offers. I know Ms. Sharpless and I have talked about possible amended plea offers.
Do you all anticipate, is there anything further? First of all, the court will grant the continuance for a full cycle till 2/12 at 9 a.m. But are we finished with basically discovery and whatnot? In other words, is this the last continuance? Do you all anticipate any other need for a further continuance?
Not unless there needs to be any pretrial motions filed, Your Honor. I don't anticipate.
Well, wouldn't you know whether there's any pretrial motions that need to be filed? I mean, if it's a motion to limit or something of that would be dealt with at jury review, that's one thing. We're not talking about dispositive motions.
I believe I have all the discovery in this case, Your Honor.
Okay, so is this the last continuance?
Your Honor, I'm really hesitant to do that since he just got the case, and there were some depositions that were conducted. I don't know if they're the only depositions that the defense needs to conduct. I don't know.
Well, the defense is right here. He can tell me if he needs more. You ready to go? We ready to go to trial in 2 months? I mean, if you need something more, you can get it.
I don't want to announce until I can get those deposition transcripts back that it's the last continuance, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, when you come back, it'll be a full year. So let me know where you're going with this case on the next trial. Do that for me, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Continue to 212.
I'm also covering a case for Tony Henderson, Your Honor.
Okay.
This case is State of Florida versus Christopher Gardner. It's 23 CF 107. He's asking for a continuance in this case, Your Honor. There were some depositions that were set on November 15th. They had to be canceled due to a family emergency on the court reporter side. They are currently being rescheduled. I don't have a date yet.
Okay, we'll continue to 212. There's nothing can be done about that.
And if you could please contact our office, I can get you plenty of dates.
Sure. Thanks. I'll make a note now.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Morris?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Morris.
How are you?
Good.
Excellent. Brandon Morris for Jacob Scott Butler, case number 2023 CF 431. Your Honor,
Who's the attorney of record?
Brandon Morris.
Okay.
Your Honor, we took the deposition of the investigating law enforcement officer, I believe on October 25th, based on what she disclosed. There's additional discovery that was provided sometime around mid-November. After reviewing the discovery that was provided, I've reached out to the state. We spoke about possibly getting this matter resolved. However, we're going to need additional time to do so, so we're going to be asking for what I anticipate to be the last continuance in the case.
The state would agree with that, Your Honor. There was a little bit of confusion, some gaps, and we were trying to fill those in. We're actively doing that. It's part of the discovery process. So it should be ready to go if we haven't resolved it, but we are talking about a potential resolution on it.
Okay. So we'll continue this for a full cycle till 212.
Yes, sir.
And the court will ask that the minutes reflect that this will be the last continuance for the terms.
Very good.
It'll be a short trial if we have it, one witness. So.
Very good.
Your Honor, I'm handling a case on behalf of Chris Crawford. The defendant's name is Nathaniel Gray. Case number 20.
Hold on a second, let me find that.
And I should mention for the record, a waiver's in Mr. Butler's court file, and a waiver.
Sorry?
I should mention for the record on my case that a waiver is in Mr. Butler's court file. A waiver's also in the court file for Mr. Gray.
Very good. Thank you for telling me that.
It's going to, Mr. Gray's case number is going to be 2022 CF 925. Your Honor, Mr. Crawford's office has indicated to me that the state recently disclosed approximately 40 additional witnesses based on conversation.
You say 40?
That's what I was told, Your Honor.
Can we approach?
Sure.
We're open now 7 days a week. Normal hours that you've been expecting, but now we're open Saturday 10 to 4, Sunday 10 to 3, and it's both our Crestview, Fort Walton Beach, and Eglin Air Force Base locations. So you have things to do, go and do it. Just know the UPS store is going to be here. Again, Sundays 10 until 3 p.m.
What can I help you with?
I think I was bit by a vampire.
This is definitely concerning, but I don't have any experience with vampire bites. I do, however, have training in accident investigation from the Florida Highway Patrol, and I'm proud to say that I've received many awards that... Hey, you feeling okay, buddy?
Injured? Take a breath. Call Coy.
Hi, I'm Wanda Roberts. For the last 20 years, I've been helping the residents of Northwest Florida buy and sell their properties. My office is just 1 block south of the courthouse in historic downtown Crestview. Give us a call at 850-398-5389.
Hi, I'm Michael Gilbert, defense attorney with Warrior Law. I represent those accused in Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and Walton County. If you or anyone you know has been accused of a crime, give us a call. We can help.
The Cottage Formalware, located at 648 North Wilson Street, has all your needs for looking your best. We have homecoming, prom, and pageant dresses. We have tux rental suits, vests, ties. Need something casual? We have that too. Shop Hometown First and visit us on Facebook at the Cottage Boutique and Formalware. We're located at 648 North Wilson Street. Call 850-682-2446. CNC Asian Market, located at 294 North Main Street in historic
On the
downtown
discussion
Crestview.
sidebar, the court will continue this matter for 2/12 at 9 a.m. and hopefully we'll get a good update on kind of where we're at with discovery at that point.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That is all I have for the court. You have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
See you.
Mr. Powell. That would be from Mr. Powell, the elder.
I think he's everybody's best.
Get here early next time, Judge.
I know, that's right. They get, early bird gets the worm.
I know. Good to see you, Judge. I got two for both. Brandon Ladouce is, case is 22 CL 1856.
Okay.
And they're in their third round of depositions. The last one had to be continued because the prosecutor left on that case. We need to continue that. The state has no objection. Michelle is the state.
Who's prosecuting this case?
I didn't hear the name.
This is Leno, this is the homicide.
This is Noah Lasco filling in for Michelle Sandler. My understanding is that discovery is ongoing in this case, and we are stipulating to a continuance.
That's correct, Judge.
Okay, and certainly these are complicated cases, and the court will grant the continuance, but where are we at with regards to the discovery? Are we kind of closing in and we're...
Closing in, this is the third round of depots.
Okay.
Got to get them reset.
Okay. Very good. The court will continue until 2/12. Hopefully we'll have a better feel for where things are at.
Thanks, Judge. The next case is Thomas Cole, 23 CF 851. They both got, we'd like to leave that on set for docket date, plea or continuance.
Very good. Does that plea or continue or plea or trial? We had an announcement on the last one, that it was the last continuance. So,
Only plea or continuance, Judge.
well, we're gonna put it on for docket day, and we'll talk about it.
Okay.
But he did announce he needs to come and explain why. If he announced on the last one, why that doesn't count anymore. If not, it won't matter that we're announcing last all the time.
Well, I got two
Okay.
witnesses, so we can do that.
Okay. Well, when is the docket date, Judge?
It's next Monday, 12/18 at 9 a.m. And maybe he can fill in for you, because yours is the last one too, so. Then he can say the same thing, that he doesn't know why it continued. You pass it back and forth. So we got Eddie Ray Meadows, 21 CF 542, that's your case, I believe, right?
Yes, Judge, the state's gonna announce a non-pros on that case.
State?
This is the Meadows case?
Yes.
Your Honor, I've spoken with Mr. Powell about the case. The state is of the opinion that the defendant has substantially complied with the VPA that he entered in 2021, so the state's going to null pros this case.
Very good. The court will take notes the null pros on Eddie Meadows.
Thank you, Judge. I got one more case, Juan Bonavisto.
Is that under your, I don't have any more for you that I have. Hold on a second, let me make sure.
I thought it was.
Yep, no, I got it, it's on.
Yeah, it's 22,
Got it.
1075 and 1076.
Correct.
We got, the problem with this case is the state hasn't been able to get all the discovery. That's what we've been waiting on. We haven't got the videos. We need the videos because this is supposed to be a hand-to-hand sale. And she sent us the other stuff just recently. We're trying to set deposition. We need those videos and
We're 2 years out and we don't have videos? State?
it took forever.
Your Honor, the videos are coming to him. I didn't know he hadn't got the videos, so he has
I
the.
mean, you didn't know until just now?
I did not know until this morning that he didn't have the video, so I've asked my assistant to forward the videos. He does have the recording of this device now. I did confirm that last week when I was emailing with his office, trying to make sure he has all the discovery, and he's saying he needs depositions.
And it was the state was trying to get it, Judge. She couldn't get it. There's tons
I
of.
mean, if you don't have the videos, you don't have it. You can't go to trial if you don't have the videos, so.
And right now, they don't have a case. I
So
don't.
you got the videos, and then when you say you have the videos, you just somehow hasn't been transmitted to him?
I know that they have been requested, so
You don't know whether the state is able to provide the videos that he's waiting for?
I do not know that, Judge, that would be correct, but I've requested them. So if we have videos, they'll be sent to me.
Okay, I'm gonna do something a little bit out of thinking, because you need to get those videos. So I'm gonna continue this. I'm gonna come back on our miscellaneous in the morning of January 16th. I'm gonna call it a status, okay? Just in the purpose of this, and you guys can remind me when I say, why do we have this status? To find out where we're at with discovery in your videos, because if they're not right, we need to ask some more questions. I think you just knew about it here this morning, you can't really answer, but the defense needs to have answers, particularly almost 2 years into it.
Well, Your Honor, I will say he is newly retained, and I understand that this case did precede me, but we did not have some of this information at the beginning of the case, and then when I came on the case, I realized that the defendant was under charge. So since I have come on the case, there have been some developments, and since Mr. Powell's been on the case, there's been developments. It's not like we haven't been doing anything. But if there's anything else that he does not have, I do need him to reach out to me before pretrial and let me know if there's something that he thinks that he should have that he doesn't have, because we do need to set depositions in this case.
Okay, so if you can kind of have that kind of exchange in the next month and come back here on miscellaneous on January 16th, and get a sense, then we'll put it back. We're not gonna go to trial, and we'll go to the next cycle before we'll go into trial, but kind of let me know where we're going.
Yes, sir.
Okay? You definitely need to have those videos. I mean, that's obvious.
I don't think the state has a case without the videos, but it's a 2019 case. That's what the charges stem from.
And that's why we need to get, exchange the discovery, and then you guys can talk. Okay?
Good to see you.
Thank you, Mr. Powell. You have a good day. Mr. Keach.
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning.
First case in your docket, James Banks, 22 CF 2776, Judge. And this is the Sharpless's case. Banks, James Banks.
Yes.
And Judge, we're going to move for a continuance to the February 12th docket. I don't believe the state has any objection.
No, Your Honor.
Where are we at? I mean,
May we
I'll
approach?
grant the continuance. It's a complicated case, but we're past the year mark.
May we approach?
You may.
CNC Asian Market, located at 294 North Main Street in historic downtown Crestview, has the largest selection of Asian noodles, rice, and sauces in Northwest Florida.
This
With
matter
more
to the
than
next
2,000
full
items
cycle,
on their shelves.
February 12th at 9 a.m. At that time, party, the council can explain kind of where we're at.
Thank you, Your Honor. Next case on the docket would be State of Florida versus Jessica Fickett, 22 CF 2574. This is a case that was just recently transferred to your division. Ms. Fickett is approaching the bench. Her co-defendant's case was placed on the docket for, moved to the February pretrial already for Ms. Dudley's case. We'd ask to do the same. We have made a counter offer to the state to try to resolve it before that date, and if we can reach an agreement, we'll notice the court for a plea.
So did you say you just recently got this case?
Judge, I've had it for a few months, but it's bounced from Judge Gunterick to Judge Brown to your division. So it just landed, this is the first date of it being in your division.
Well, so where are we at with discovery?
We've done a round of depositions. The lead investigator was unavailable for the deposition, so if we can't resolve it, we will get that deposition done before the 12th.
Okay.
Or at least make a good faith effort to do so.
Very good. Okay, we'll continue to 212. Hopefully we'll have a better idea of kind of where everything's at that point. Stay in touch with your attorney, ma'am.
I'm sorry, Judge, may I be excused?
Is that your only case?
Yes.
I was going to ask you which was your case, because I didn't mean to keep you sitting there all morning.
Oh,
Yes,
no,
ma'am.
Judge, it's fine. It was John Almore earlier with Ms. Dudley and then Jessica Fickett.
Very good. You are excused. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Judge.
And Judge, finally, State of Florida versus Mercy and Knox. Ms. Knox, come forward. She has two cases on your docket, 22 CF 1305 and then 22 CF 1353. I believe that this case is being handled on Mr. Lasco, is that correct?
That's correct.
And Judge, Mr. Lasco and I spoke on Friday. He just got the cases. We did discuss some potential trying to resolve it. But if we could move it to the February 12th pre-trial, that will be the last continuance. The discovery's basically been completed. I'm just out of town for your trial cycles the first week, and then the second week I'm in an all-day family law hearing in the middle of that week.
Okay. The court will continue this till 212, but in his court's asking the minutes to reflect this it's the real last one.
All the depositions have been
I know,
done.
because it was announced last time, but I
Yes, sir.
understand you got a new lead counsel on the state side, so, and you've got a legitimate basis for conflict, so we'll work through it. Let's look at it, either resolution or let's go to trial next time. Ready?
So, I believe that's all I have. May I be excused?
You may.
Thank you.
Mr. Niddle.
Morning, Judge.
Oh, Mr. Middle.
I have two cases on this docket. One is Dexter Lane. He was here. I spoke to him. He had a dialysis appointment. I told him I didn't want him to miss that. So, on his case, his co-defendant is represented by Ms. Dudley, and I believe that we are going to be filing a motion to suppress. So, I spoke with Mr. Lane today for the first time and got his version of what happened. And basically, I don't know
Were you recently appointed?
I was appointed.
Because this is going on a 2-year case.
Right. There's been a couple other attorneys before me. Mr. Stevens was the last attorney before me, I believe.
You got appointed in October?
I believe it's not been long, but
So
anyhow, there was Miss Dudley had depositions scheduled for 12 people. I've got copies of 3 transcripts. I'm going to have to get with Miss Dudley to see if
So those 12 have already all been deposed?
I've only got 3 transcripts, so I don't.
I understand, but is it your understanding they've all been deposed? You're just waiting for the transcripts?
The depositions were scheduled. I don't know if they showed up, but 3 of them did for sure. And I need to get with Miss Dudley. I spoke with her previously about this case, and I think it's going to result, we're going to file a motion to suppress based on our discussion. But I don't know if all the depositions have been completed. I'll get with Miss Dudley and find out. I just have to put a call into the court reporter to see.
Well, these are complicated, serious cases. Come next month, or 2 months from now, when we come back here, I need a report on where we're at with these. I want to know
Yes, sir.
exactly what you need to get done, because you need done. So if I need to be pushing the state to get some stuff for you, I want you to have what you have. I know you've got a lot of lawyers. You're the last one, but we're 2 years out. It's my job to get these cases resolved.
I understand,
If
Judge.
not, let's go to trial. Mr.
I
Lasco's chomping at the bit to go to trial.
Judge, I don't think this is my case.
Oh, it's not?
It's my case, Your Honor.
Well, Ms. Sharple, she's always chomping.
But
at the bit
that
to go
is
to
correct. I
trial.
am chomping at the
I
bit.
know.
Yeah, and just so you know, this also got transferred to me as well. So I've been giving, as far as the deposition transcripts, I gave him the transcripts the state had. That's what he's referring to, is we had the transcripts of just a few witnesses.
Did all 12 get deposed?
I was not the state attorney at those depositions, so I had
Yeah,
depositions.
but you're the state attorney now, so you gotta give me a report on what was done. You don't know?
I don't know if they all showed up or not. I don't.
There was actually 2 separate dates for the depositions.
I understand there's been a lot of moving parts here. Give me a good report next time, that's all I ask.
I
Tell me
think
where
we're-
we're at, if you need more time, I'm just.
For coming back on February 12th, I think we should be able to have a lot better report for you.
Okay, I'm gonna put that in there. Mr. Niddle promises a lot better report on February 12th.
I may
Put that
retire
in the minutes.
I may retire January 31st. So.
You'll probably retire February 10th.
The other case I have is Angelique Croxton. I've sounded the hallway in the courtroom several times. We had if we could pass my case, Judge, Ms. Croxton apparently would, I don't know, just
Very good.
I need to speak to her. We got a
Very
plea
good.
form.
We'll pass over it. We'll pass over it. See, Ms. Goodman, are you next?
Yes, sir. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Ms. Goodman.
On Frederick Brown, who is present in the courtroom, we're going to pass to a later time today because he's here to handle a plea to
Okay.
PTI.
We'll pass over Mr. Brown.
The next one I have is Taylor Copeland, Copleand, 23 CF 1142. I'm going to ask for a full continuance. I have an investigator on this case. He went to go view the vehicle in question, but they no longer reside there. I've contacted the state to provide updated addresses for the alleged victims, so that we can take pictures of the alleged the alleged victim's vehicle, and also to schedule depositions, because without a good address, I can't send them a subpoena.
Is the state, I mean, is there a good address, or where are we at?
Your Honor, we were, when Ms. Gooden made that request, we were working on it, so, I don't know if the investigator has found us a good address yet, but we are working on it.
Okay. Well, it's a relatively recent case, not a real recent case, but it's a serious case. So we'll grant the continuance. Hopefully we can get a better feel for what's out there, who, make sure we get exchange of discovery. That's obviously critical.
Yes, Your Honor. The next one I have is Louis D. Leon, Jr., 23 CF 2128. I'm asking for a continuance so that we can set depositions. I thought we were going to be able to work it out, but we're not, so I'm going to have to take depositions.
Okay, this is a relatively recent one. It's actually probably first up, so we'll grant continuance to 212.
The last one that I have that I know about is Frank Jenkins, 23 CF 2286. I'm going to ask for a continuance on this case so that the state and I can converse more. We spoke yesterday about it. I mean, Friday. Yesterday? Friday. Today, I think today's Monday, so it had to have been Friday.
Today's Monday, it's good.
I work every day, Your Honor.
Can I chime in? Judge, the discovery has been exchanged. The offer is a PTI with anger management and just pay the damages to the victim. State believes it's a very generous offer given the facts. The offer will expire at the next pretrial.
And we appreciate that.
And if you can speak with your client before then, you can try and, if you want to get it on one of our miscellaneous in order to get it resolved. Court will accommodate.
May we approach?
Sure.
Everybody else is approached today. I'm not getting my
Not everybody.
CNC Asian Market, located at 294 North Main Street in historic downtown Crestview, has the largest selection of Asian noodles, rice, and sauces in Northwest Florida. With more than 2,000 items on their shelves, you'll have no problem finding exactly what you need for preparing that authentic Asian meal. Open Monday through Thursday from 9 till 8, Friday and Saturday from 9 till 9, and Sunday from noon till 6 p.m. Be sure to check out our Facebook page for our weekly specials.
Hello, this is Chris Norman at Bulldog Bail Bonds. Our office is in Crestview, Florida, but we service 7 Northwest Florida counties. If you ever find yourself in a jam, please give us a call. We're here to help you out.
Congratulations, Crestview's very own Dixie Dan Powell of Powell Injury Law, for your recent jury verdict of $11.5 million for your client from a death and injury against an inflatable amusement company.
Court on Frank Jenkins, 23 CF 2286. We'll continue this full cycle till February 12th, 9 a.m.
All right, thank you, Your Honor, and I'll be back with Mr. Brown.
Very good. Ms. Grisham. Ms. Graham. Grisham.
Oh, Ms. Crosby back up, we have the plea agreement signed.
Okay. Ms. Graham, you're going to have to wait for Mr. Niddle. He's got a plea.
Sorry, Judge. If I may approach, I have to leave more than
You may.
This proxy will be pleading.
You're over there, and do it from a mic so we can pick you up.
Ms. Croxton will be pleading as charged to one count of felony petty theft. She will be sentenced to 36 months probation. She would attend anti-theft class. She would maintain employment of 2 job applications weekly. She would pay $515 in court costs, public defender fee, 24 hours of community service, no drugs or firearms, random UAs, cost of investigation of $90.12 to the Nashville Police Department, no trespass in any Walmart, and reserve restitution.
You're okay with the score sheet?
Yes.
Is the state in agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, that is the state's agreement to Mr. Niddle provide the court with a score sheet.
He did.
It is, yeah, it is not a downward departure, and that is the state's agreement.
Very good. Ms. Croxton, would you please raise your right hand? You swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Speaking to that mic for me so I can hear you.
Yes, sir.
So, Ms. Croxton, you heard your attorney state the terms of the plea agreement, and I see that those same terms are contained in the written plea agreement that you've signed.
Mm-hmm.
Have you read this plea agreement closely?
Yes, sir.
Have you gone over it in detail with your attorney to make sure you had all your legal questions answered?
Yes, sir.
And you understand, importantly, by entering into this plea agreement as contained in the written agreement, you're waiving some valuable legal rights.
Yes, sir.
Rights to go to a trial, force the state to prove their case, all that.
Yes, sir.
In order to get a final resolution, to be a final resolution of this case. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You believe that's in your best interest to do this?
I do.
And the state is in agreement, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. Based upon that testimony, the court will accept your plea agreement. And it's one thing you didn't put on the plea agreement is whether there's a withhold or an adjudication.
I believe it'll be adjudication of guilt.
Would you go ahead and put it on here?
Yes, Your Honor, the state was requesting adjudication.
Did you understand that, ma'am?
Mm-hmm.
The adjudication of guilt on this case.
Okay.
So it'll be an adjudication of guilt on the single count of felony petty theft. The defendant will be sentenced to 36 months probation. There are a number of other additional items that are contained in here that are all conditions of your probation. The anti-theft class, maintaining employment, no trespass, reserve on restitution, any restitution. If they seek it, you can contest it, but that'll be reserved. Do you understand that? We're not going to deal with that today. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, no drugs, firearms, 24 hours, community service, fees and costs, etc. Any questions regarding any of these items?
No, sir.
Thank you very much.
Right, Ms. Cross.
Thank you, Judge. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Niddle. Ms. Graham?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Tricia Graham. I have 2 cases, Your Honor. First is Cameron Grant, case 23 CF 2221 and 23 CF 2206. This is our first time up, Your Honor. I've spoken with Mr. Losco on this case. We have received discovery. My client is out of state. I'd like a little more time to review that with him and discuss a possible resolution to the case.
Very good. The court will continue this matter. This is the first time I'll continue to 212.
Thank you, Your Honor.
9 a.m.
And the next case I have is Keontae Pride, case 23 CF 326. This case, there's multiple co-defendants in this case. We're on our second round of depositions. I believe the state has no objection to requesting continuance for the February.
There's also another case. Who's handling the other?
Mr. D has that case as well. I believe Dees. Mr. Dees. I believe he's tracking it with this as well.
So then the state's in agreement to continue this?
Yes, Your Honor.
I know it's a serious case.
Yes.
There's a lot of co-defendants?
Yes, and a lot of discovery.
Okay, very good. We'll continue to 212.
Thank you, Your Honor. That concludes my
That's all
case.
you got? Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Any other private counsel? Hold on a second. You know, we had Miss Cashwell was here, and I've got a second case for her. What's that? Okay, good. Hold on a second. Let me just go through and see if we've got anybody else. Couch. Is Clint Couch here? Is Mr. Guerrero here? Mr. Kilpatrick here? No.
Mr. Newland was here from Mr.
Oh, that was Dwyer, correct. Mr. Stevens here? Victoria Hooks?
Your Honor, if you're speaking about David Stevens, he no longer practiced criminal defense. He works with the state attorney's office now. So I believe that Ms. Hooks is a pre-PTI.
Victoria Hooks, who's handling that case for the state? You want me to give you a case number?
One moment, Judge, I can find it. Is it under David Stevens, right? Yes.
Correct.
I think it's a PTI recall.
Docket says area. Judge, I can handle it today.
Okay.
Can we pass it for a minute while I figure out what's going on in the case?
Sure. Very good. Okay. What's that? I'm gonna do a couple of the
Your Honor, I think we can go ahead and handle this. It is a PTI recall on the Hooks case.
Correct.
This is case number 22CF002799. I don't think Mr. Stevens represents the defendant on the recall. Is the defendant here?
Nobody has answered, so.
Okay. I'm just confirming notice was sent.
You're saying that Mr. Stevens is not on the PTI?
I don't think so, Judge, because he works for the state attorney's office now.
Well, I'm just saying, on the record, do we have an attorney on the record on 22 CF 279?
Just the original attorney on the case. And notice was sent to the defendant on October 13th.
In that case, Judge, the state would request a KPS.
Would you like us to call it?
Sure. Victoria Hooks.
The state would request a KPS.
Court will issue a no bond KPS. Okay. We have just a couple of, before we break for lunch, we have a couple of cases in which there are no attorneys of record. We'll call them, I think there's 4 separate cases. And then we'll do the Regional Conflict Counsel and the PD's office starting directly after noon. Does that work, Mr. Medina? After lunch.
I know my clients want to get out of here, but I understand what the court's prerogative is.
Well, I mean,
and of course, everybody, corporate security, probation, everybody's entitled to breaks. I understand.
Yeah, I mean, generally we'll go till noon, so.
Thank you.
Less trying. We just have an unusually large document this time, so. Let me go ahead and call a couple, I'm sorry?
I apologize, Judge. What time is that, 1:30?
1:30. So let me, is Brooke Ann Harrelson Etier, if I'm pronouncing that correct? Okay. Everyone can leave, but please try and stay quiet. State.
Brooke Etier.
State. Brooke Etier. You want me to give you case number 1577, 23 CF?
I apologize, Judge, I'm not really no attorney part of the docket.
Sure. It's at the very end.
I believe that is my case, Your Honor, and I have not heard from the defendant.
Was the defendant noticed for today?
Sorry.
Last time they were in court.
For arraignment.
Court will issue a no bond KPS. What about, is Damian Kennedy here?
Approaching.
Stated in the case.
This is case number 23 CF 001911. State versus Damian Kennedy. He's charged with drug trafficking and public order crimes, wearing a bulletproof vest.
Mr. Kennedy, are you planning on getting an attorney?
Yeah, I need a little more time, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if I could just check the court minute sheet from last time, because I think that the defendant asked for more time previously.
He did.
And the state's concern is we do need this case to move forward, and I think it's only going to move forward once it gets an attorney.
So when are you going to get an attorney, Mr. Kennedy?
Well, I can try, you know.
Sir, there's plenty of lawyers that will work for you. If you don't have the money, you need to ask for a public defender. But the state's proceeding forward this case, and you're going to be at a severe disadvantage if you don't have an attorney. You have a right to have an attorney. You cannot afford one. One will be appointed for you. You're here saying to the attorney, telling the court you're going to hire one. I can give you a list of about 20 lawyers that would be glad to work for you.
Okay. Well, I don't have
So
the money.
you need, then you don't have the money?
Okay.
Well, then accept the public defender. Fill out the form and proceed.
Okay.
You'll have an attorney.
All right.
You want an attorney appointed?
Yes, sir.
Court will appoint the public defender.
Mr. Gates has already withdrawn from this case.
Okay, so we'll go to the Regional Conflict Council. Do we need to,
We withdrew, Your Honor, the court found Mr. Kennedy not indigent.
on this case? So, do you believe that was incorrect?
Sir?
Mr. Gates was previously appointed on this case.
Yes, sir.
He said that when you filled out your application, it was ruled that you were not indigent, that you had the money to pay for an attorney. I didn't see.
I ain't signed no paper saying that I was.
Can you help me out?
Madam Clerk probably can.
Your Honor, it was due to him bonding out on a $65,000 cash professional bond.
You automatically are deemed. So, you have a right to get yourself an attorney, but at this point, it's deemed that you're not indigent because you bonded out on a $65,000 bond, cash professional bond, and you came up with some cash. So, proceed, counsel.
Judge, I
Proceed
would,
with this case.
based on everything, the state is not prepared to go to trial this cycle.
Not to go to trial today, but I'm just
But I
saying.
suppose if we could set it for the February 12th date, that would give him time to try to scrape together the money to hire an attorney. In the meantime, he needs to know that the state will proceed with this case with or without an attorney appointed for him. And it's a DOC offer, a min-man of DOC. So I would ask for that February date.
Okay. And is there an offer on the table?
It's the minimum mandatory, Your Honor.
Which is?
I would have to pull it up if you could give me a moment.
Just so he can be aware of what's going on.
Certainly.
Has an offer been previously presented to you by the state?
Your Honor, I don't have the trafficking min-man for that weight off the top of my head, but if we could just pass this briefly, I can look it up.
If you want to just look at it, just hold on just for a second, because we got one other case. Let me do that one, and then we'll come right back. Just hang tight just for a
still
second.
need this paper?
I don't need it. What is it?
It's an indigent application for indigence.
Okay, we don't need that. Is Mary Mason here? Mary Mason.
It's 3 years.
Ms. Sharpless, is that yours?
It's mine, Your Honor.
Okay.
Judge, I'm tempted to ask for a capias, but Ms. Mason typically makes her court hearings. The court's well aware of this case. The PD was previously appointed, and she came forward saying she no longer wanted to be represented by the PD anymore. She filed her own motion to suppress, but I think she forgot to sign it at the bottom. So the court was going to prepare an order denying it, was my understanding based on an email that I received. That being said, she normally makes her court dates. Could we pass this to the end of the docket? I don't want to request a capias.
That's fine.
Thank you.
We'll pass it.
In the meantime, I do have the minimum man on that.
Kennedy, come on up.
The offer in this case is the minimum mandatory of 3 years DOC with a $50,000 fine.
What's the maximum in this case?
30 years.
Okay. Well, he said give you some parameters for the plea they're looking at. If you're, anyway. I'm going to continue this until 2:12. need to either get a lawyer or the state's gonna proceed against you. I assume that offer will remain open, but I'm not gonna put you on the spot right now. Did you understand what the offer was, though? Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You wanna make sure you understood kind of the basic parameters of it. If you're interested in it, when we come back in February, we can, we'll address it. If you're not, we can go to trial, or begin to prepare to go to trial. Okay?
All right.
Any questions?
No, sir.
Thank you. Okay. So, we will reconvene at 1:30. And we'll do, start with regional conflict.